Okay, guys, we are live. So, for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon muser this evening, this afternoon, this morning, wherever this finds you. Today, we are continuing on with session 15, I believe, of our ongoing campaign playing Paizo Publishing's very cool science fantasy role playing game, Starfinder. And with me today are the stars of the Starfinder campaign, which we're currently in a mini kind of adventure or campaign arc called Fistful of Shobhads. So the stars of the Fistful of Shobhads arc, starting off on the left here, we've got Ingolf.
Yeah, hi. I'm Ingolf. I'm playing Wodan, who is about to be shot by someone, I suppose, but we will see.
Nice. And next up is Thomas.
Yeah, hello, I'm Thomas. I'm playing a human priest of Pharasma, a mystic. Pharasma is the Lady of Graves, and I will be the healer of the group.
Nice. And next up is Mo.
Hi, I'm Mo, or Morris. I'm playing JT Cat, or Cat with a C. I haven't quite decided how it's pronounced. He's an operative who is a jack of all trades, somewhat akin to a rogue if you've not played Starfinder before, if you have played any D&D game.
Perfect. And last but not least, making his triumphant return from a summer of family obligations, it's Brent.
Hey, I'm Brent. I am playing Tom, the android technomancer and xenoarchaeologist. He's kind of like
Thief.
I don't know if it's stealing is quite the right word. He does contribute for the right price to various, educational establishments.
Mm-hmm.
He's I guess morally flexible Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
That's
So
a good way to describe it.
last we left our heroes, or our Starfinders, you guys had. Well, let's start off with the scene with Tom the android waking up. So last thing that Tom the android I think remembers was cruising along through the Akiton desert, or the Akitonian desert, I suppose, and you were on your way to a place called Ebbotsburn. What else do you remember, Tom the android?
We were driving through the desert, and then everything went black.
Well, what I'm curious of is why you went to the desert. You won't have any recollection after that, but why were you on Akiton? Why were you driving through the desert?
Well, our good friend Sedona provided us with a lucrative opportunity to retrieve her, to find someone and bring her back. Her name was Marie. And we had to go into the desert and retrieve her, and I'm forgetting the name of the town.
Ebbotsburn.
Ebbotsburn. And we had to go to Ebbotsburn to retrieve her. So it was a retrieval mission, and we're, I guess, going out of our comfort zone slightly, because most of us, I think,
Bren, you're fortuitous. We now have the rules for sidekicks.
I know. I got one right here.
Hi, Caden.
I don't know if you can hear. She's, yeah, I don't think I got that. I just got
Wiener.
my headset on. You want to say hi?
Hello.
Say hi.
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 Hello.
Hi, Caden. Hello, Caden.
Can I take it back?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I've got a companion joining me right now for a bit.
Okay.
Until our friend shows up, I guess.
Yeah.
So you let's see here. That's I think sounds right. Do you guys have anything else to add to that?
It has to get faster.
I will add that we're probably, most of us are used to a vacuum or an urban environment, and desert in the middle of nowhere is new, especially for Tom the android.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe why you were, you guys had, well, I think actually Kat did most of the heavy lifting on it, but Kat negotiated a pretty sweetheart deal on a hover, basically like a sport utility hover vehicle that you guys were using to get out to Ebbotsburn. and you guys had adopted the guise of bounty hunters to try and blend in with the kind of criminal riffraff that's at Ebbotsburn. You know that that this guy, or what you had been told, was that a guy named Boss Zadok had been running the town. So I think maybe what happens is the last thing you remember is hitting some kind of like some mini jump, Tom the android, and then a jarring kind of stop to it. And that's when you sort of like, in the film version of this, what we would see is like, the like computer rebooting thing for RoboCop. We'd see little lines of code going by, and then you kind of like, blink, and you open your eyes, and you can see in front of you there is a sign that just says, Cantina on it. That's sort of got, one or two letters burned out on the sign. It looks very much like what you see on the screen here. Let me make sure I got you guys on the right screen, actually.
Is anyone nearby me?
Yeah, you're sitting in this thing. If you look in the bottom there, we've got sort of the positioning of everyone, and you're in the back seat, sitting next to Zakros. Kat is driving this, and you sort of like blink, and you look off in one direction, and what you can see is there's a collection of about 20 like nameless ruffians kind of stuff, like a bunch of like banditos or space banditos. But amongst that group, there's also a like 10 or 11. Ooh.
Okay.
Lunch is ready for someone here.
Awesome. There's a 10 or 11 foot tall creature that has kind of a like a war apparatus on it, and it looks like this. It towers almost twice the height of any of the smaller red-skinned humanoids that are lining the streets, and they seem oddly aggressive towards you, and then you look off in the other direction down the street, and there's another group of people down there. So it seems like this is like one main kind of drag, and there are groups of people that have accumulated or collected in the street at each end. At the other end, there is a red-skinned, they're all these red-skinned humanoids, these Helki that are the natives of Akiton. But amongst them, there is a pretty beaten and vicious-looking Kasathan with 4 arms as well, too. Much smaller, obviously, than what the Shobhad is. And then you look at your allies, and your allies are all dressed in this very unusual, like, desert kind of, desert come cowboy, outfits. And you realize that you must have missed some things.
Yeah, my head hurts. I don't even remember the part or the good parts. But it looks like there must have been some bad parts. Looking at our fans down the street.
Okay.
Are we coming or are we leaving?
So it appears
Actually,
that
there is blood all over the car, because behind we had some kind of rough encounter with some insects. So
yeah,
what the hell happened to our? What happened to the car?
Bugs.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
it's the bane of any summer trip, right? So
That's going to be so much work to get those off.
So where we last left our heroes, you guys had arrived last session. Who wants to do the quick? Voldan, you had just mentioned how extensive your notes were.
Yeah. So just like my character, I only have a vague understanding of what's going on. So I'm trying to fill Tom in, and let's see where this gets us. As far as Wodan understands, there are two parties in this town struggling on who is boss. So there is boss Okashek, who he used to be the second in command and now trying to be the first one, and he has kidnapped the daughter of the original boss called Zadok. And that is this girl, Marie, we are supposed to fetch. So that's why we are siding with Okashek in order to get to our to our target. And that's basically my understanding of the situation. I vaguely remember that we had this thing which you called cover, where we pretended to be bounty hunters. And I think we also told people that we were just bringing Tom in because we had collected him, but I don't really remember if that is what exactly has happened. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay. So the you guys are currently sitting in the vehicle. The the old engine is still making a lot of noise, but it's it's backed up, and you looked off in one direction. I think where we last left you guys was heading off in the direction of Boss Okashog's place. You had met Vozela, who is apparently the wife of Boss Okashog, and you've heard is a because you actually met two other people as well too. You met a Yasaki named Viata, who runs the cantina and the tavern where you guys are, or the cantina and motel where you guys have been, or you signed in at least. And you also met Dwab, and Dwab was a little, what do you call it, Hilky guy, red-skinned Akiton native, who was trying to broker a deal between you guys and the and one of the two gangs. So I think we see
the so-called sheriff.
Yeah, exactly. He's the sheriff. Yeah. So you can see as you guys are pulling out, like behind you guys, you can see Dwab is standing on the thing, kind of like, trying to decide which way you guys are going to go, and he's going to try and run down and beat you guys there to try and make a deal for you. And you've got little Viata, the Yasaki, is standing outside of the motel, kind of just watching you guys disapprovingly. He was quite intent that you didn't need more guns here. So, Kat, you were behind the wheel. What are you guys doing?
Right. Well, I pull out, and we're heading towards. Which way we were going? We were going towards the
Okashog.
Okashog.
Yeah.
And I might toy with the sheriff a bit just to make sure that we get there first.
Okay, so you're slowly
I'll let him
going
think
along.
he's gonna do it, and then I'll just hit the throttle.
Yeah, okay. So you're going along, and he kind of and turns and starts trying to race down the street, and you kind of speed up a little bit and let him get a little further ahead, and then you speed up a little bit, and you finally reach there before he does. So as you guys pull up, what you can see is there is the, to be honest, I mean, the collection of kind of rogues that they've collected here as hirelings. They're very much, as a group, they're very much indistinguishable from the others. But there are, why don't we do this? Let's get some dice roll, and everyone give me a perception check. Let's see who catches the eye first here.
So sorry, I the profession soldier.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't even notice. It's that keen eye of mine. Okay. Woof. Look at that. Tom the android. Holy smokes.
Well, I'm fresh from my long nap.
Refreshed. Okay, so I think Tom, and maybe because you're seeing these with fresh eyes too. So obviously there is this really vicious-looking Kasathan, dressed in a lot of weather-beaten leather, and then there's ceramic. He looks like he's someone who is if you picture a U.S. soldier back from a patrol in Afghanistan, with lots of dust and stuff kind of caked on him, but lots of equipment paste, all over the place. That's what but it's all high-tech gear. That's what this guy looks like. Like he's he's really not, fucking around. But there's also standing next to the woman who seems to be, taking charge. She's dressed fairly well, but you recognize, I think, that she's got a number of, obviously, just because of your background as an arcane scholar there, Tom, I think that you see that, there's some arcane devices that she's got on her, too. Some are fusions, some are full-on magic items. Right. And sitting next to her is this really burly-looking Hilky guy. You know, if you picture kind of a like a red-skinned kind of Dave Bautista. You know, this big, solid-looking guy with yellow eyes and red skin, short cropped hair. And Bautista from Blade Runner, not from Guardians of the Galaxy. So weathered and older, you know. So so she steps forward, flanked by this guy who seems to be like her bodyguard. She is Brent. We mentioned last time. So red-skinned, of course, because she's a Hilkie, but she's played by Lucy Liu in the film version of our campaign.
Okay.
Current day Lucy Liu, so she's older, not like super young. So she strides forward as you pull up and has this look of, the cat that caught the canary kind of thing. It's like, So it seems that you are at least halfway clever.
That we are.
Oh.
Right.
That one's with you. It's alive.
It is.
I thought it was a bounty.
And who is it I'm speaking with?
She looks at you, kind of looks up and down, and then looks back. The one she was speaking to was Voldan before.
Okay.
So she's not particularly interested in this, now risen corpse. So, the chatty corpse. Is it with you as well?
They're all with me.
Yeah, she's ignoring you completely.
We started him again. Might be useful.
She looks at him. We don't pay for sidekicks.
Who are you calling a sidekick?
Yeah, he's a
She
little
looks
bit
at you.
chatty, but yeah, he can stand his ground.
Yeah, she looks at looks at you when you say who are you calling a sidekick. She looks back. Is he slow?
Yeah, well, he's a machine. So.
Malfunctioning, perhaps. You pay for your own repairs.
So I give these guys a look. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Because I don't know the situation we're in.
No.
I just
Really
look at Tom and I say, all good, all good.
Okay.
Just play along.
Oh yeah, because you guys have
explain later.
You guys have the Vesk. You guys always use Vesk as your way of communicating, right?
Actually, I go to him and I do this mind trick, so he will be knowing everything that what happened in the last few days when he was unconscious.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of your abilities, right?
Yeah.
Is it a spell or is
mind
it
blink? It's mind blink. It's a mystic ability.
Nice.
And hang on here, I post this there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So in an instant, he knows exactly what happened.
Okay, and I will reciprocate with gotcha using telepathic message.
Okay.
All right.
And I will be even in the telepathic message. It will be in Vesk.
Okay.
Okay.
just in case, because it's not 100%
Yeah.
pregnable. So just in case the.
Okay. Now I think so. Just as an FYI, guys, both of those are obvious because they take a standard action. Both of those are obvious magic stuff, right?
Yeah, I do this. I do this after the conversation we have with her.
Sure.
Oh, what's going on? Oh yeah, sorry. I got a reminder that our stream
we're playing. Yeah.
now.
I need to adjust it. I'll adjust the the timing. Now that we're starting earlier. Okay. So yeah. So you whoop. We lose Tom altogether, or
No.
Yeah.
No,
oh yeah,
I'm
you're there.
there,
Okay, we
but,
lost the other roll 20.
I don't know. It just went.
Oh, that's weird. When Thomas first logged in this morning, roll 20 was displaying upside down.
Yes. I don't know what happened here. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I can see
Nice,
everybody.
perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I mean, you're just rebooting the Android. You're bound to have some problems. So,
No.
so what? Yeah, so we can say that happened as you were driving on the way down too, so that if you don't want it to be blindingly obvious.
Yeah.
So what do you say? So she's just kind of, you guys have pulled up in front of them. She seems kind of pleased to see you guys down here, but what do you say?
Yeah, I think so I look over to JT. So say something.
Okay. Well, JT tips his hat and says, "We believe you were in need of some extra muscle, ma'am." Looking at her.
Yeah. Says, we don't need it, but we will take it. We're strong. Okashog will win this. You'll see. You'll see that Okashog is stronger. And what do you lot do then? You. And he looks at the, gestures towards the laser rifle that Voldan has. Or I guess maybe the hammer is probably the most conspicuous thing you've got. I take it you can use that?
Yes. Anyone here to try it on?
You're gonna hear the laugh comes from the bodyguard, the Dave Bautista, and she kind of looks at him. Much as I would like that, I'm not paying for you to fight. And what about you? She gestures to Zakros. What do you bring?
I bring balance.
Balance. We're not looking for harmony. Can you fight?
I can indeed.
And you?
And I also can heal.
And she looks at the grizzled, big, hilky guy, and he kind of nods like, all right, that's not, unhelpful. And you? Drow? Dark Elf?
Oh, me. I'm the tech king. And I'll also pick up the rifle I've got in effectively a scabbard.
Yeah.
I assume we have actually picked up our creep because we're somewhat out of time here. So
Yeah.
that's his.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oil rifle. A jack of all trades, I think. And I fix things.
You're kind of said to have truck with demons and things from beyond.
Well, who doesn't these days? With undead walking around the Absalom station. But I have a disagreement with my family, and I decided that leaving was the better part of discretion. Otherwise, I might meet some of these demons up close and personal, which would be a significant emotional outcome, as they say.
So you bring a gun and an extensive backstory.
Yeah.
And what about your sidekick? What does he do, Vesk?
Mainly catches bullets.
I see. It looks like he's caught one or two in his time. She looks at...
I'm avoided. Tom is really trying to hold back. A sarcastic comment that turned this whole thing downhill, but he will, make his will save and sit and stare silently.
Okay.
He'll light up a smoke, and then that'll be.
Okay. So the woman says, "I am Boss Vozela, Boss Okashog's wife. You will listen to me. What I say, you do. This is Zamni. What Zamni says, you do." And Zamni seems to be the big, hilky guy. And she looks at him. He'll get you settled. There's quarters here for all the staff. And she turns and, and as she's making her way, turns and makes her way towards the, back inside the kind of compound. And as she does, she kind of spares a look back down the street to kind of, to see someone down there who kind of like, whoa, see that you guys have been hired. And then she turns and walks her way inside, leaving you guys with Zamni. And so he says, "Are you staying here then?"
you've got space, and we need somewhere to park.
Take the vehicle around back.
What about our place in that nice establishment with the Izoki?
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't know about that. Never
He
mind.
shakes his. He kind of shrugs his shoulders. You stay here. You stay there. Doesn't make a difference to us. Though.
Okay, well, I'll park the truck round the back then. Are you getting out here? And or...
Yeah, we can get out here.
Okay. So you guys disembark here, and Kat, you take the hover truck round back, and what Zammy does, he'll take you in, guys, and basically like there's a kind of a walled structure here, and within a walled compound. If you picture like a junkyard kind of in an urban environment, there's like big walls around the whole thing. There seems to be sensors set up, but these are very weather beaten and old and whatnot. And within there's a couple of different buildings. There's a kind of like a house, like a hacienda style house that is set up for where the main house or the main family, the Okashog's family lives. There's a large kind of like basically like prefab barn that's been modified a bunch of times over the years. That seems to be the quarters for you guys, and the round back where you guys are parking is going to be just this kind of open area where a bunch of vehicles are parked. So he gestures and says, all right, get yourself in, grab yourself a drink, until things kick off, until the boss says otherwise. We just got to get ready.
Just one question. So, who's the boss? The boss or the boss's wife?
He kind of shrugs. Both.
Okay.
If either of them asks you to do something or tells you to do something, you do it. You got it?
Yeah, it's like everybody tells us something and we do it.
You guys seem you'll learn fast. Did any of you serve? Former military? Paramilitary?
Yeah. Whatever that means, yeah.
He kind of looks at you.
Where?
Well, did you or didn't you?
You mean officially or unofficially?
Paramilitary too. What I want to know
Yeah.
is if you've got training.
Yes.
All right. And you? The road one. You don't look to me like a soldier.
I'm more of the.
Sorry, he was actually talking to Zachros.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm more like the Undertaker.
Logistics. And you? Drow?
A little bit of that, a little bit of this.
Have you served or
I
not?
grew up on the streets. No.
And you? Android?
We've all seen our fair share of combat.
You have a hard time answering a question.
No, I have not served in any official capacity with the military organization.
So he looks at you, Voldan, again. He says, you're responsible for them then. You can handle that?
Yeah. Have you served?
He kind of looks at you. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Where?
With the 5th Akiton planetary defenses. He steps forward as if, like, he thinks that you've got something to prove here.
I'll do a culture check to see if I've heard of that.
Yeah, I mean, these are one of
That
these.
unit.
Yeah, like he is a bona fide soldier. He served in some kind of, as Akiton grew more poor after the collapse of the Thasteron market, the wars progressively kind of got uglier. And we're often between, if you picture sort of like the worst missions that you could imagine in like Shadowrun, that's kind of what has, the last 100 years worth of conflict in Akiton has been. And this guy's probably, and as they're getting along, people are fighting over less and less and getting more desperate to fight over that stuff. So that is likely the ugly conflicts he's fought in.
Okay. I stare at him blankly because I've never heard of those guys.
Oh, make a. You know what? Let's...
Oh, nudge. Volta.
Okay. So he says, you can help yourself to whatever you can find, and in the kitchen, they stock it pretty well. But stay out of the main house. They'll call us if they need us. If you need to practice, there's some ranges we've got set up around back. You're responsible for your gear. Pay is at the end of the week. Any questions?
When is the end of the week?
It's another 4 days.
All right. After he might be leaving, I go to Brent and do the mind link ritual with him, and then he knows everything. What's going on.
So what you can see is in terms of the people who are here, you know, there does seem to be some activity around the house as well too. You can see that that's where Zamni is headed. You can see that Kasathan, who was with them, he's gone back to, or she has gone back to the to the kind of the hangar or the converted barn that the kind of hired goons seem to be living in. And a lot of the goons are sort of, you know, you're the newbies, so, or the new fish, so they're all sort of interested in what you are, and they're talking to each other and trying to, you know, that thing where, you know, they're trying to gauge where you guys fit in the established hierarchy. So they're all kind of posturing and, like, you know, snarling at you guys, and they're not doing anything overtly hostile, but they're trying to put their fiercest face forward at the motley quartet that has now been hired by their boss. So what are you guys doing? Kat, I'm assuming, like, at this point you've parked the vehicle, you've come back, you know, you've had a chat with Zamni, and now you guys have a chance to do whatever you want to do now.
Yeah, I also moved the distributor cap, or easily disable the vehicle in a way that it's easy to fix, but not something they could do without the part that I've got stashed.
Yep, that sounds good.
I don't want anyone running off with it.
Yeah, that's understandable. One sec here. You know what would have been good on the DM screen is a list of skills. Because I keep screwing up the skills that are in this and the skills that are in PF2. There we go. What is your engineering check there? Either your engineering or your mechanics. Oh, hold on, it's not mechanics. What are they called?
It's just engineering.
Oh, it's just engineering. Yeah.
13.
13. Okay. All right. So, what are you guys going to do now? What happens next?
Well, we'll see if we can find a bunk, I think, presumably.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as we're looking for, you know, place to sleep, what kind of computer systems are kicking around here.
Okay, so that's a good opportunity to talk about computers. I'd mentioned offline that you know, I don't think I made clear enough, or at least we weren't all aware enough of how computers actually work in this game. So all computers in Starfinder are assumed to have the two-step verification. So you not only need to have, like, whatever the password is to access stuff, you need some kind of physical device as well. You can access computer systems without both of those, but it's really fucking hard. Or let me rephrase that. It's really hard with neither of them. If you have one of those things, it becomes more of a manageable striking distance. But if you look at the difficulty numbers or difficulty class for trying to hack without, it's like -20.
I've got a feat to overcome that.
What's that feat?
Hang on, I will pop up where's my abilities?
Yeah, I mean, it's also a lot harder to hack remotely. If you're physically sitting in front of the computer, it's a lot easier.
Oh, here it is. I popped it up twice.
Yeah, and that doesn't at all do what you said. You can use computer without having a user interface or hacking kit. That's all that it allows you to do. That's not the two-step verification.
Oh, okay.
You normally need, in order to use a computer, you need to have some way of accessing it. That's not what that does. That's all that does. It allows you to access a computer without using some kind of computer interface. You can hack
Right.
without having to have the hacking kit that cat needs.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So
But there will still be a severe penalty.
yeah. So
with that.
so like for instance, if you it adds 20 if hold on, where is it? So I was just looking at this. Yeah, 20 higher. So what that means is that if you like each computer will have a certain level of threshold kind of access that you're entitled to get. Okay, it has whatever based on what your user profile is. User profile, then normally it unless you've got administrative access, you can't change the stuff about the computer, so you can't really hack it. But if you've got those access things, either a password or a the physical object, that helps with that access. But it's still, you kind of ideally want to get both. And the reason I think they do that is because it requires teamwork and like social engineering to gain access to hacking the way that, actual hacking kind of works. The most effective way of getting access is like having someone accidentally put a, what do you call it, like a thumb drive into their computer that delivers some virus or something like that. That's what you guys need, is some kind of physical way of accessing. So there is a computer thing here, but the access that you're going to be allowed is going to be very minimal. Like you're authorized to like access the infosphere on Akiton, but that's really the extent of it. You can't access anything else without something else.
Okay. Does it by accident? Does it tell us what kind of key we need to access it?
Nope.
I guess we should probably just look around and see if we can notice how people are accessing the computer system when they do.
Okay. So how are you doing that?
Well, I'm guessing in
like the stuff
we're sitting around, like we'll see people access the computer and see whether they use a key card or a password or.
So you're where are you doing that? Are you doing that with the like when you're getting into the bunk space, or trying to?
We're just sort of not like specifically at the second, but as we stay here, whenever the opportunity arises, when we see someone use a computer, we should make note of how they're accessing it.
Okay.
And if we see someone accessing the computer on the way to the bunks, that's great. If not, whenever we notice that.
Okay. It's kind of like, to access the computers the way you guys are doing, it's effectively like, linking in with a local network. Yeah. Right now, right? Like you guys likely have access to that, so you're going to be able to, carry off of the signal. You shouldn't have the problems accessing the infosphere the way you did when you were in the Akatonian desert. But what you would need to get more substantial access to the computer is you need one of those two. Well, you need both of those things, I guess. You need the where is it here? Yeah. Okay.
Just one question. So we started in the morning, so it is probably still morning.
Yep, it's still morning.
Yeah. Okay. So we would have some time. So I would suggest that I just join the shooting range to find out something. I don't know what you guys are doing, but I think talking to the military type persons would help, probably. Or whoever is there.
Okay. Sorry, I was just looking here. Just so you guys know what the benefits are, if you have access to one of those two things, either the password or the physical key, you get +5 to hacking attempts, which means it makes it a 15 higher than it normally is. If you have access to both, then you can get in and do whatever that user has access to. So, if you plan it, because it is a really valuable way of, you guys have a couple characters who are pretty good at that stuff, and I want to make sure that you have that as a way of gathering information as well, too. Just I want to make sure you understand how you're going to go about that. So, what are you guys, do you have any plan in mind here for sort of establishing yourself in the pecking order with this lot of ruffians?
So yeah,
Not particular. I was hoping we could be in and out as quick as possible.
Yep.
I think we will have to wait for the night to even contact Marie because she will be in the main building.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's my thing. I don't know. So guys, just speak up.
Well, I think the first thing is I'm going to go and make a coffee and have second breakfast, so to speak, in the kitchen and see what's there. And also, as I pass any computer terminals, I'll just check there are no post-it notes stuck to them, or lists or phone numbers or the equivalent.
Sure.
Well, sometimes my password's stuck to a post-it note.
Yeah.
I normally hide it in the drawer. But I'm not being that obvious. I'm just eyeing it as I go past.
Sure. Okay.
I'm also seeing, is there a printed list of comm numbers?
Anywhere? You mean like for contacting the different, if
have they got their personal comm units? Oh, actually, do we have phone service here?
Yep. I mean, local. I think it's carried off of the local thing here.
Oh, yeah. So
yeah,
we can use our normal comm units to talk to each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Would the computer have a directory of comm links, sort of like a phone book, kind of?
Well, I was just wondering if there's one posted up next to the.
So
I'm going to take that a step forward. I wonder.
So what you guys are talking about, there are places in the Starfinder setting where absolutely they would have stuff like that. The middle of the Akatonian desert in one, penny ante warlords or wannabe warlords thing, probably not. Okay. What there is like, Kat, you look at this thing and you're like, how is this thing still functioning? Like the monitor, at least that you guys have in this thing, it is the most rudimentary kind of thing. And I imagine there's some like popular figure from say like 70 years ago, there's a hold on, what's the species here, what are they called? Here we go. There is a Telian magician, and by magician I mean like close-up magic, right? Who was really, really popular 75 years ago. Who's the amazing Zipzop. And the amazing Zipzop is a Telian. So he's more of a comedian, but the close-up magic is delivered very... slowly. So, what the reason I mention this is because like the programming they've got on this computer is all like the greatest hits of the amazing Zipzop, and he I mean this has not been a thing for from 2 generations back, so this computer has seen better days. What you can tell also just from quickly kind of tapping on the thing, and I think when you if you glance at the thing, you try and just do a quick like interface with it, Cat, the thing kind of grows up and it starts playing another one of the holo shows for the amazing Zipzop, and you hear everyone in the crowd is kind of like, oh no. They've clearly seen it a bunch of times before, and there are no like notes or anything like that. There's stuff that's carved into the side, but that's probably due to the boredom of kind of violent people hanging out of damaging around the screen and stuff like that. There's the there's the crude kind of carvings and phrases and stuff that you can picture in this kind of place. And yeah, I mean that's sort of that's what you can take from the computers. You imagine? Why don't you let's do this? Why don't Kat and Tom? Are you guys discussing this, or are you trying to suss out the?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it on the quiet. Obviously, later on, if we can find somewhere a bit quieter, I might have a discussion with Tom about the best way of seeing if we can get Marie's unit number.
Sure. Why don't you know what? Why don't both of you guys go ahead and give me a computers check. Let's see how much you can gather from this.
What? Just a little walk past,
Oh, nice. Okay, so for both of you guys, I mean, you both gather that this is likely slaved to some like main computer in the house. Mm-hmm. The house looks newer, so you probably have something that has been developed, more recently. And you imagine that there is likely some firewall that is preventing you from accessing the main hub from here. They don't want them being able to fuck around with stuff. In terms of the comm units, there's not really there's you probably have a way of messaging the Zamni, but it's not you guys are all sort of collected together, so there's what I picture is that when you guys meet up, your comm units probably automatically do that kind of registration thing where you I want to talk to so and so. As there's likely some kind of personal area network that's set up. So yeah, in terms of the people in here too, just for Voldan seems like he's content to kind of wait till sundown to try and put a plan into motion here. Remember, you guys can also, if you choose to use diplomacy, you can try and gather information as well too. That is takes you 1d4 hours to do that stuff, but I mean, seems like there's a lot of people here who are here longer than they have been. There's also a lot of junk around here too, so it probably is fairly easy to get yourself lost or to not be seen if you guys want to, scope over this area out in greater degree. And there's no, I mean, while there is a sort of like fencing, at the front there, you are free to come and go, it seems. Zamni wasn't particularly fussed whether you were staying here or not.
How is our vehicle? Is it damaged still, or are we okay?
That's all right. The vehicle is all right.
Okay.
Yeah, a few dents.
Yeah. Misses
But
a
I'm
bench.
I'm going to go to the kitchen, make coffee, and I'm just going to hang out and sort of make small talk.
Yep.
For the morning, and then I think in the afternoon I might go out and do some target practice. But I'm a bit low on ammo, so. But what I might soon is find if they provide ammo for target practice.
They will, yeah. You can assume that.
Yeah. All right, so I think the morning's going to be coffee, breakfast, and chat, and then in the afternoon I'm going to go out and do some target shooting.
Okay. So what about Zakros and Tom the Android?
I'm better with computers than with people, so I will stick to trying to find my way into the computer system and maybe get intrigued by various piles of junk.
Okay. So the what you can see from, at least from here, like no one here has substantial access to the computer network, it seems. So you know that there's a firewall out there. You're assuming there is one between here and the main system, but it's next to it'll be fairly conspicuous for you to try and access the thing, and it's also really, really, really hard without the even one of the two-tiered access. What you likely know though is if because there's the two-factor identification or verification with the stuff, you would guess that there are certain people like Zamni, like Vozela, the wife, and the boss, of course, that all have access. There might also be certain staff members who would have certain access. Excuse me, but those would likely be people in the main house. What about Zakros? What are you doing for the day?
I go to the kitchen, get some drinks, and then I go into the main room and sit at the table where the shady figures were throwing eyes at us.
Yep.
And I sit down, put the bottles on the table, and say, let's talk a little bit. So I try to be diplomatic and try to find out how well is this house guarded, how many people are going in and out, this kind of stuff. Yeah.
So let's see here. Why don't you give me a diplomacy check?
That's what I wanted to do.
Let's see here.
Ooh. Okay, that calls for an overpoint.
Oh, I will tell you. So I did get my copy of Low Fantasy Gaming in the mail this week, and it's got a pretty fucking fun bar brawl chart that I used at yesterday's Pathfinder session. This weekend I'll have 2 bar brawls. Whew! I'm gonna be a happy DM.
Okay, I tried to
spend your Nova point.
Again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
okay.
better.
So that's a little better. All right, so what you're able to get out of these ruffians is you're able to get out effectively that like a lot of them they've been hired on over the last like 3 months or so, and some of these people seem to be kind of coming in from almost all over, like a 1,000 mile radius. People are hearing about this and coming in to try and stock up for this conflict. They know that the big house is where the boss and his wife and some of the preferred help is, but they don't really know much else about security or anything like that. Like they have no reason to test it. It's a payday as far as most of these are concerned.
Okay, they're not really loyal to this group. They just wait for the money and that's it.
That's it. These guys are, it's all a bunch of mercenaries that have been hired on here. And you get the sense just from like some of the brandings that some of them have and stuff like that, that it's probably more than a few prisoners in here too. I think that at one point, if you do mention that you were a bounty hunter, and I'll let you decide whether you'd love with that, they kind of like there's one or two of them that kind of like slowly extricate themselves from the conversation and make their way to the far side of the room, and then it's kind of like watch you from a distance.
No, I just want to make clear that they are not on my agenda at all. And in between the sentences, I want to put in the information that if we do our thing, if it would be possible that they don't intervene.
Oh, I see. Okay. So that's going to be right now. Let's do this. Give me another diplomacy check, because what you're trying to do is improve their... Right now, they're sort of... They went from indifferent... or they are indifferent towards you. Okay. Are indifferent or are they unfriendly? I think they're unfriendly right now. So go ahead and give me a check here.
A what?
Diplomacy again, please.
Okay.
So I think what you didn't turf it, but you sort of like test the waters with like, so you'll work for, well, you tell me, like, what is it that you're saying to try to, get the feelers out to see how this, how they might respond to, people turning against them.
Yeah, I just tell him that myself, I am a smuggler kind of thing, and if there's something I might be interested in, that they just keep the eyes closed or away, or the ears closed, ears shut.
Okay.
That kind of, yeah.
So they sort of, the impression...
And they pour in more drinks.
Yeah. I think the, what is your perception bonus?
My perception bonus is...
I think it's pretty good, isn't it? Because I think your wisdom is pretty good.
Yeah, it's 9.
9, okay. So they seem amenable. They seem like, okay. What did you have in mind?
When the time comes, I let them know, and there might be a little advantage for them as well.
Sure.
In worth, like credits worth,
So, Voldan, I think you've been sitting back. So you were saying you're just kind of sort of like resting on the bed, right?
I was going to the shoot range. I wanted to.
Oh, shoot range. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. So my idea was that there would be some kind of, I don't know, over-eager soldier type persons out there.
Quite possibly, yeah. So then, Brent, I think you were Tom's the android is the one who's left behind. Then Tom, you're sort of you have finished sensing with or connecting with the interfacing, I guess, with the program, and you sort of are back and lying down and just sort of thinking, resting up. You're still your head's a little sore still from the extended unconsciousness, and you're about to get up and go, and you've suddenly, like in a film when like you suddenly like background noise kind of comes in as you sort of focus back in on what's going on,
right?
And you realize that Zakros is involved in this conversation with a group of about maybe 6 other of these reprobates. And it seems like he's in a pretty, conspiratorial. They're all lurching in and whatnot. And the distinct impression that you get is that these guys are about to roll this guy. That they're gonna, whatever he was talking to them about, they've got him on a, on a hook, and they're getting ready to. It's you know what it's like when you see like wolves or space wolves, circling a prey.
Is there a bottle of alcohol nearby?
Yeah, there's one that he's sharing with them.
All right, well, I'll come by with a pack of smokes and go. Let's do some shots. Who's in for some shots? And
Okay.
I smoke and go, and just like I'm completely cutting the conversation, holding out with a pack of cigarettes, offering
Sure.
cigarettes, pouring shots, and just like destroying whatever conversation was.
Okay, give me a diplomacy check, please.
Oh, this is not going to go over well.
Shit.
Because remember, I'm the android who doesn't really get like how people work. Well, let's see.
Nat 1. Oh my gosh. Do you want to spend a note point?
Maybe. Oh, should I roll with this, or should I Nova my way out of here?
Wait, it's up to you.
I'm a charmer. I'm gonna reroll it.
Okay. I'm a charmer. Keep telling yourself that. My mom says I'm handsome.
Yes.
Yes. Back to back, Nat 1. Brent, you're back, baby.
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Such a good job in making friends. This is awesome.
Tom, what are you doing? We had just this nice conversation, didn't we, lads?
I think that you actually knock shit over in the table too, and you spill stuff onto people.
Well, yeah, how about as I walk over with some shot glasses, or hold up the bottle that smokes, I knock over the bottle and send the bottle spilling all over a bunch of people's laps.
Hey, what are you doing? Okay.
My bad.
So they hop up, and you have just shifted them from unfriendly to hostile. So they, they all hop up, and there's probably about 6 of them at this point, and they start, making their way over, and they start shoving you in back away from the table, and start sort of crowding around you, Tom. What do you think you're doing? We were having a nice conversation there. You think you're something special coming in here?
Hey, I just thought we could have some drinks. I saw that, nice bottle. Time for some shots.
Let's see here. Zakros. What your perception bonus is? What, +9? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is about to lead to violence. You're gonna have kind of one last opportunity to do something before these guys start kicking the shit out of Tom the android.
My apologies for the behavior of my friend. We are on the same payroll, and I don't think our bosses would like that we have a fight in here. Maybe later sometime, yeah?
Nice. Setting a time for him to get his ass kicked. Go ahead and give me another diplomacy check, please. Let's see if this is enough to mollify them. If you had added something else, like if you tried to pay them off or something like that, I'd give you a bonus to the diplomacy check, but...
No, you
just want to try.
Give the speech, and there it is.
Whoa, 24. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think they are back down to unfriendly. So they all kind of stop, and they're thinking over in their heads, well, they... She seems to be popular with... or he seems to be popular with the boss's lady, so... Maybe... One of the lead ones sort of shoves you and hits you in the chest with his finger. This isn't over, android. And they look over at you, Tom, and kind of do a and then Zakros, and then they all sort of disperse. So that gives you a chance now for Zakros. This seemed to be going well. What the hell? As far as you were concerned, this was going great.
Yeah. What happened, Tom?
I was trying to rescue you because they didn't look like they were. They looked like they were gonna attack you. They're all I don't know what you guys are talking about, but they did not have a friendly look to them. They looked like they were about to jump you. So I was trying to defuse things. Unfortunately, I may have knocked over that bottle of whiskey there.
Much appreciated, but I had the situation under control. I wanted to bring them a little bit to our side that they keep eyes closed, you know?
I don't know if that was working, but
I had the impression it was until you came over.
organics are weird, so
Yeah.
Okay.
You
So
should stop smoking.
what else am I gonna do?
and I think that what you were doing too, Tom the android, is you weren't like offering smokes, you were putting smokes in people's mouths. Oh, here you go. Here. Look, you've got this.
I'm really friendly.
Here you go. They're like, what do you...
I read on the HoloNet that smoking is a good icebreaker.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of your like leftover space cigarettes on the table. There's spilled whiskey everywhere. Let's cut over to the shooting range. So we see Kat and Voldan walking their way up to the shooting range. There's maybe I'm gonna roll randomly. Let's see how many guys are there. There are 7 of the henchmen who are there. We're all practicing their own marksmanship with their crappy, barely held together kind of rifles. And you guys come walking up there, looking at you guys, doing the, studying you as you get set up. What do you guys do? What do we see next?
So this is a pistol range or a rifle range?
Depending on where you set which target you pick.
Okay, I'll get the coil rifle out because I need to zero it in because it's been a while.
Okay.
So that's basically it's a single shot. It's a magazine-fed single shot sniper rifle.
Cool. Okay.
So I'll get that out, fit on the bipod, and get set up to do some practicing.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye out.
You can picture like the stuff that's set up here. It's a junkyard, right? Like so there's crappy clothes that have been set up to roughly approximate clothes put on these crudely welded together things that are supposed to be the targets downrange. And there's probably like assuming if you're doing the sniper thing, you're picking the farthest target.
Yep.
Okay. What about Voldan? What do we see with him?
Yeah, I want to take a smaller piece of stuff from the ground. I don't know, maybe a can or something.
Yep.
Just crush it with my claw in order to impress the crowd.
Sure. Why don't you give me an intimidation check, please? Let's see how well this goes over with the yokels. Nice. Okay. So the you crush that, and they all kind of like, oh, because it's all Hilki here who are shooting. It's all humans with just red skin. So you do that, and then what do you set up and start shooting as well?
Yeah, but just the first impression is maybe the most important one. So
You got it.
seeing me crush that image maybe
Okay.
stays in mind in case anything goes wrong.
Sure. So you start, you guys start setting up, and then the sniper rifle you've got there, Kat, is that is it a projectile weapon, or is it
a projectile?
Oh, it is. Okay. So yeah, it has a big report, I think, when it goes off. So they all kind of like, whoa, because it's this, and it echoes out across the junkyard.
Yeah, I kind of imagine they're probably using the old Lever Winchesters, whereas this is more like the next generation on. And I do look after it, so it is, the wood's all nice and shiny. It's not banged up. I'll fire off
Okay.
5 or 6 rounds.
Okay.
And then I'll. How do they handle walking out to the targets, or do they have them on string?
I think you're thinking
Okay,
this
so
is
you
a
have to
much
physically
more
walk.
organized activity. This is the equivalent not of going to a shooting range. This is the equivalent of like going to a like the backwoods of Kentucky and shooting cans. That's what this is like.
Okay. Well, I'll wait till everyone's shot, and then I'll walk out to see how close they were.
I mean, you have binoculars, don't you? Or rangefinders?
Oh, I do actually. Yeah, I can pull those out, and I'll shoot a magazine off, check how I did, and then I'll tinker with the gun with a bit.
Okay. So it's when you finish off your first shot, range or round of shots that Voldan, you sort of notice that there's one or two guys who are kind of lurking at the edge of like they've moved down a couple spots to be close to you. Like they kind of are trying to get up the nerve to talk to you. So if you want to talk to them, you can't. You likely could, or you can just.
Yeah, I was just thinking. So maybe there's a big target that I likely won't miss, and I could just throw the can at it instead of shooting it.
If I see that, I'm gonna try and snap shoot the can in the air.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, we can try that. Yeah.
Bang! And it spins off through the air. Okay, they're kind of like, whoa. They're really impressed by that. The one of the Hilki finally kind of gets up the nerve, and he's like, "Say, you guys aren't from here, are you?"
Nope.
Well, are you? You're one of them Vesks, right?
Yes.
Are you from the what's it called? That space? That
yes,
thing.
we are from Epsilon Station.
The Vesk Empire. Is that where you're from?
No, I'm from the Epsilon Station.
Oh, so you're one of them local Vesks, then.
Yes.
What about you there, partner? You
I
from
grew
there
up on
too?
Epsilon.
Ah. What in it? So, what series of poor decisions on your part brought you to a shithole like Abbotsburn or Abbottstown? Abbotsburn.
Well, didn't grow up on the nice part of Epsilon Station.
I see.
Well, yeah. Sometimes you got to take a job to get a job. Take a job.
Whew. Guess it's tough around pretty much everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's quite the gun
Yeah,
you
but-
got there.
It's just a basic thing, but I look after it. I got good training on Epsilon Station.
You call that basic? I'd hate to see the advanced class.
Oh, I think that Kasathan's got the good stuff.
Oh my. Whew. Boy, you boys are pretty serious. So, boss is hiring on some pretty serious muscle now. Seems right.
Yeah. How long's this been going on?
I've been here 2 months now. I came from close by. You know a place called Hive Market?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a small town outside of
Where
Hive
we
Market.
bought the vehicle.
Well, that's where I'm from originally. At least that's where I was last. Things, you know how they do. They get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Cat sort of says, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, I bet.
So tell me, you are here for a month now. So I didn't really get who's in charge.
Well,
So,
I suppose.
The woman said she's the boss, and you say she's the boss's wife. So who's the boss?
Well, that's a bit of a tricky question, and I'd be careful who you ask that to. Boss,
I see.
Boss Okashog is the one who's certainly in charge, but boy, Vozela. Vozela has certainly got strong opinions of her own. I'd suggest you do as she said. She give you the talk that she says something, you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes that talk.
Yeah. She never said if he says something, we should do it. So
Well, that's
that
'cause
was
you're most likely going to be. Well, you're most likely to hear from her. She seems to have more of a hands-on thing here than what old Okashog does, and
okay.
does seem that you met Zamni. I take it too.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good one, but boy, he's a toughin'. You do what he says as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Many people. Yeah.
He was here when I got here, and he's been here for as long as any of us know. So I don't know if he came over with Okashog when Okashog went out on his own, or whether he just was one of his early hires, as they say. What's your names, partners?
Voldan.
Voldan. It's a neat name. How about you, friend?
Oh, I'm Cat. JT.
Cat? Well, I'm Zeker. Nice to meet you both. Tell me, did you do any other work on Akiton, or did boss bringing you guys in special from off-world?
I think we happened to be on Akiton and heard there was people looking for people like us.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, boys are certainly good shots. I'm glad that we'll be having you on our sides if this does kick up. Though, the way things looking, it seems like they're more interested in having guns than actually using them.
So there's been no actual rough stuff. No one's got hurt in the last 2 or 3 months.
Here and there, there's been folks that kicked off, itching to fight. You have this many guns pointed at each other for this long. It's bound to have some happenstance. But if you ask me, I mean, it seems that they're just keeping the stockpile.
Yeah. But we heard that we had the other boss's daughter.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've heard too. I ain't seen her, but yeah, I hear she was taken about a month and a half ago, shortly before I got here.
Okay, so that would explain that there's no open fight.
That might explain it, though. Don't explain why Okashog don't just wipe out Zadok's men, unless he thinks he can't do them. Whew. He's got that big Shobhad, though. You seen him? He's hard to miss, I guess. Then you're kind of hard to miss yourself there, Mr. Vesk.
Yeah, I looked down at him.
I don't suppose you got any pointers you could pass along. I mean, I know you take the dangerous end and you point it at what you want dead, but any further insight?
Well, I could, presumably we could give them some training on,
Sure.
I'm not quite sure how that would...
Yeah, I mean, that's
be some sort of diplomacy or other skill.
No, units do that, and I'll count it as kind of like an extended task of aiding another.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can show them, maybe they're not holding the rifles properly or they're not bracing it properly.
Okay. Voldan, what is your perception check again?
My perception.
Here, I'm going to write them down now so that I quit asking.
No, okay.
My add, or what do you want to do?
The bonus.
So I can do it. The bonus is 1.
Okay.
Impressive.
Yeah.
9 for me.
Okay. Brent, what's your perception bonus? Just so I record them now.
All right, it is +4.
+4, okay. You're rolling pretty well on your perceptions, and I thought it was higher. You tend to roll quite high on it.
I'm better at that than diplomacy.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, that's kind of how you guys spend your, the late morning, early afternoon, and then, yeah, what do you guys do? Now, what, you guys head back, or, I mean, Zeker seems to be quite happy to hang out with you guys, and now that he's kind of broken the ice and talking to the big scary Vesk, some of the others are kind of coming over and talking to you as well.
Oh, I think we'll go and make a meal. Presumably it's done collectively. Or is there a cook, actually?
No, there's no.
Oh, right. There's no little cook that we can...
Cat is actually secretly a Victorian-era British officer. Oh, so where's the cook? This is catered, is it not?
Yeah. So this is...
So
yeah,
you guys...
I think we need a Skitterman sidekick to do the cooking. Bring along the camp stuff so they can make the tea.
So you guys get in, and you can see that there's a bunch of... when you get in to the kind of main area, what have Tom the Android and Zakros done with the rest of their day?
Try not to get their asses kicked.
Okay, so you avoid the... you were saying that you were going to wander the junk cut?
Compound, yeah, and see what there is to see.
Sure. What is your engineer... yeah, I'll use your perception. Awesome.
Awesome means what?
Awesome is so good. Okay, so you know what, guys, we're about at our halfway point right now. Why don't we take our break? I need to grab another drink anyway. When we take a break, give me a chance to prep whatever I need to prep here, and then we'll come back in 5 minutes and see what happens with the rest of the day.
All right.
Okay, so we'll be back momentarily.
Mo, do we have enough bullets and guns left on the maybe on the vehicle or?
Well, I think we had 9 rounds of small arm left. Some of us use batteries. I wonder we ought to ask them whether there's somewhere we can charge.
Actually, Tom could charge our batteries.
Oh, has he got?
He's a technomancer.
Oh, right, he is, isn't he? Yes, so he's got the.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got effectively 2 magazines of pistol, and we're sort of doing half and half. I've got 24 or 36 rounds for the rifle, and I assume the target practice we use theirs.
So I have 6 rounds left in my gun. I mean, I still have my laser pistol, but it's more fun with the semi-auto.
Well, I think I used up the rounds, and then we had 9 rounds left in the common stock. Plus there's a spare pistol and 9 rounds on the ship.
Do we have grenades left?
I think we've got those. Well, are we using the equipment we got on the Condis? This is a bit.
Yeah, this is.
We're sort of playing it a bit.
All right, sorry about that, guys.
Timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, is that you're talking about the Doctor Who role-playing game?
No.
Yeah, no,
we're talking about this game.
Equipment.
This game, yeah.
Yeah. No, we
I
talking.
must admit, though, I have been thinking about building companions who should have been companions using the rules.
Yeah.
You know, Linda who died on the station, and Sally Sparrow.
Yeah.
The obvious ones.
That's a great episode. The Weeping Angels one. Was it
So,
the first one? Yeah.
yeah, I think they've tried to do more of them, and they've been. Some of them are good, but I think you can't go there too much.
Yeah. I mean, when you go back to the well for that same, monster of the week, it kind of loses the impact.
They're not
of it.
really they're not really like the Daleks or the Cybermen. They don't really have any agency or backstory as much. But
yeah. It's I haven't run. I've only not true. I ran it once, but I love the action order in that where like
Yes.
the last thing you do is shoot. Everyone who wants to talk goes first, then everyone who wants to move goes next, and then everyone who wants to do something non-combat related goes next, and then the last people to go is shooting. So everyone gets a chance to get the fuck out of, to run away, which seems to be a very Doctor Who kind of thing. Okay, so we're all back. So, when you guys walk back into the, what do you call it? Back into sort of the main hall, or no, so we were, yeah, that's right. I can't get away from Brent's Nat 1.
Oh, I mean, the 2 back-to-back ones that I somehow used with my using a Nova point.
I may have rolled I rolled a 20 for you on your perception check for seeing what was happening with Zakros. Then I just rolled a nat 1 and something else for you. So, Zakros, Tom looks like he's going to go out and try and spend some time amongst the junk, trying to grab to see if there's anything of value or that he could repurpose or whatever. He has that big pile of scrap that he keeps with him as well in a bag for his magic junk armor.
Fancy backpack.
Yeah. So are you thinking you would join him out there, or are you
No, I go outside and then I activate my holo skin, cowboy hat, spurs, and I go over to my friend the Izoki, and I try to interview him a bit about.
Oh, you're gonna head over to yeah. So in terms of Nova points, guys, I've been kind of inconsistent with how I've been handing them out. But having run Pathfinder 2 for about a month now, I really don't feel like getting a regular stream of them is like overpowering in any way. So I think I'm gonna try and give like a Nova point an hour on average, and then if it's more intense, we'll accelerate it too. So you guys all get a Nova point.
Okay.
It just means I can be more cruel with the encounters. So.
All right.
More chances to throw.
Oh jeez, Dave almost joined, or Wes almost joined Sir Albus this week.
Oh, what happened?
They got ambushed, and then he just did not roll well on his damage saves, and he did a lot of damage, but then caught an unlucky crit in the neck at the very end, and dropped down to dying 2 immediately. And I'm like, he's the only one who knows how to heal people. Shit. So he almost died.
Is it true that Pathfinder 2nd is a bit more deadly?
It is a little more swingy in the sense that it's because you crit on a 10, like when you roll 10 over, it's you can have spikes in damage that are a lot more unanticipated. But that cuts both ways, though. You know, and it's not as I'm not sure if they did any change in the math. At first level, I felt that a lot worse because the higher level your characters get, or the PCs get, the more you can use stuff that's lower leveled in that, and they're less likely to constantly roll 10 higher. Whereas if you're using a more powerful, like the top end is 4 levels above your PC level, where they say like, look, the game will kind of break at that point. That shit's critting almost all the time. So like, you do not want to get hit by something that is 4 levels higher, because it's probably going to crit, and it probably does more damage to start with. So those hits are big, but it's not. I mean, for someone who likes old school games anyway, I mean, it doesn't affect me. So that feels about right, but not like I have not found it to be like game breaking, because again, they cut both ways. It allows you to have that minion feel of like blowing through a bunch of smaller things. We had a paladin who's a 3rd level who was facing a bunch of like -1 level skeletons, and it was awesome. Like, if like they were dangerous, they were a threat if he let them get through, but he could also like regularly take that -5 for the second attack, -10 for the third attack, and be smashing his way through them. It felt very, very cool.
All right.
Yeah, because he was critting on them, so he was doing more damage as well. But yeah, I don't know. Probably more so than the first one. But I mean, that game bent over backwards to keep the expected, like classic D&D, right? Like Gygax famously hated critical hits. He thought you should only just roll damage and not, critical hits were game breaking in his mind. But whatever. You may find it now that you've got all the books. You have to see how it plays at your table.
In 2 weeks' time, I have a chance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Let's see here. So I need to set up a Maparoni here because I'm sure Tom's going to get a surprise.
Oh, lucky me.
Yep. That nat 1 is just coming back to haunt you. Oh, you know what? Here, I got actually a map that'll work just well. Just fine. Just fine. Why don't we do this? While I am setting this up, let's talk about your what do you call it? Your stroll over to meet with the Yusaki, with Viata. So your full cowboy getup all set up, your spurs jingling and jangling. You come, the saloon doors open, and you come striding into the cantina, and you can see he must be standing on a platform or something, because he is. You can see him at the bar. He's kind of like wiping the bar off. He looks up. How? You're back then?
Yes, I'm back.
Did you get fired or?
No. Why don't we have a little chat? First, pour me a drink, and then tell me why, since Okashok has the daughter of Zadok, why don't they just overrun Zadok's gang?
Why? Give me a diplomacy check. I think this guy's indifferent right now. Let's see.
Okay.
So you guys didn't follow his instructions and leave
But
town.
still have a room in his establishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, I give you diplomacy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He kind of sighs, and you get the feeling this is something that has been like a problem that's been weighing on him for quite some time, and he's just been waiting to kind of unload about it. And he's like, I don't think. I think that. Well, what he does is he kind of gestures you to come over. You come over and you sit down. The same two like moisture farmers or whatever they are, sitting in the corner, old guys who are just doing their own thing. He planks down 2 glasses and he pours a bit of, we'll say it's what's the planet called? I have to look it up. Damn it. Castrovellan bourbon. So he pours this stuff out for you, and you hear the door kind of creak a bit, and you look over and you see Dwab is trying to, poke his head in, and he looks over and says, "Get out of here!" And Dwab kind of like, as if he was hit with something heavy. He scampers out of the room.
Hang on a second.
Sure.
I just say, what's his name actually, the barkeeper?
Viada.
Say, hang on. I have a different method for conversation. So I start a telepathic message. It's a cantrip. I can do it all the time, and we can communicate. I ask him stuff, and he can reply. Okay, hang on. I have to. There it is. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oop. Emmett's excited. Okay.
So we have a duration of 30 minutes and we can conversate.
Okay. So what...
mentally.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So what he says is, is a big sigh. He says, "This used to be a nice town. You expect that there's going to be some kind of crime in a place like this, on a planet like this, but one boss is enough."
I agree with you.
I think, if you ask me, and he kind of, even though you guys are communicating telepathically, he kind of does that looking around to make sure no one's listening in. Mm-hmm. I think Okashog was pushed into this. I think that wife of his had grander schemes than what he had. And now he's gone too far along than what he would be wanting to do. He can't go back now. He can't back down. And I don't think he's worried about beating Okashog, especially since they hired that Shobhad. Though now, with you guys here, now he's back to doing math again.
So the Okashog, sorry, what was the name of the creature? The
Shobhad.
The Shobhad. Sorry, the Shobhad is the reason that Okashog didn't attack.
Shobhad, yeah. He was. Didn't you hear what that idiot Dwab told you? He was trained at the shears. Mm-hmm. That's no joke, at least from what I understand. So anyway, the Shobhad's been here for about a month. That's when things really started to kick off. And ever since then, Okashog's been trying to find some way to go off of him. And I think the only reason Zadok didn't wipe him out earlier is because he's got Myri.
All right. Thank you, my little friend.
Lord knows where he's got her. No one's seen her for the last little while. Nice girl, too. Nice girl. She didn't deserve this stuff. Didn't deserve a dad like Zadok, either.
How old is Myri?
Myri? Early 20s, maybe?
Early 20s.
It's tough to tell with you types.
Yeah, that's right. All right, my little friend. Here you have some extra tip. And
you keep it.
I would like to keep the room for a little while, if that's all right with you.
You can keep the room. No one else is going to be using it.
All right.
Not as long as these folks have been. This scrap keeps going on. Are you staying in it? Or are you staying off at Okashog's compound?
Let's say I leave some equipment in this room here.
I see. Well, You're paying for the room. You do with it what you please. Within decorum, mind you.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys just leave? It's clear you got something else going on here. I'm not going to tell anyone. Don't worry. But...
Can I do sense motive and try to figure out if he is trustworthy?
Oh,
Yeah, I know. Never trust an Isoki, I know, but yeah. Is he like really concerned and
You get the
does he mean
sense...
yeah.
You get the sense that he might have an ulterior motive here. But I mean, that could be because you're, like you say, like it's a Yasaki. So maybe he's got something else. He does seem to know an awful lot about, or at least he's suggesting he knows a lot about why you're here and what you're doing.
All right. No, I'm not telling him anything. I just say, yeah, when we finish with our business, we will be gone.
Yeah, Thomas, could you ask him how they know that this Okashok has a daughter? So if nobody has seen her, so
I know what you mean. Yeah, I asked Isoki, are you sure that they have Marie in custody in their headquarters?
Oh, yeah.
Since she wasn't seen in a good bit.
Yeah, they saw her.
Who's they?
We all did. She was taken in broad daylight. It was so bold.
That was like several weeks ago, wasn't it?
6 months
One and
ago.
a-
Shortly
yeah.
after that Kasathan showed up. Shortly before the Shobhad.
Mm-hmm. But
That's
since then, nobody saw her anymore.
not for at least a month. That I think is because once that Shobhad showed up, they didn't want to give him. We're assuming. Actually, I don't know. Maybe they don't want the opportunity to lose it. Maybe they. I don't know. Maybe they killed her.
Let's hope not. All right, my little friend, I'll be going. See you later.
All right. The room is yours. You paid through to the end of the week.
Yeah,
Don't-
I head off to the room.
'Kay.
And yeah, what can I leave there? I have semi-auto. Actually, I was asking Mo when we had our break what kind of weapons we have left over. And it looks like we don't have anything. we even short on bullets.
Okay.
So,
Well, sort of breaking the game a bit, yeah. I've got 2 mags left for effectively, so a spare mag left for the auto pistol, and that's
Yeah.
it. Plus,
Yeah,
I've got the coil rifle and its ammo, as we're sort of mixing our gear from like different timelines here.
Yeah.
yeah.
You can assume, like, I mean, the things that you guys have, because Starfinder, you know, like, you'll end up with slightly different weapons, but I mean, like, they could conceivably look very much the same. Like, it's a more powerful laser rifle or more powerful whatever. We're just going to assume that it's you've got access to a gun, and that's fine. I'm not super concerned about specific model numbers and things like that. So with whatever sniper rifle that you've got in the present day, that's just another one that you had. You had another one at some point. You lost it in the passage of
Now and
time.
then.
Yeah.
no, I just wanted to use this extra room to leave more weapons here, just in case somebody takes my weapons. So
Okay.
I always have, but I have nothing to leave here at the moment. So I just keep. I'm a bit embarrassed. Zakros is a bit embarrassed. Oh my god, 6 bullets left. Right. I won't tell Mr. Vesk.
Your ammunition discipline is terrible.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had back.
For a semi-auto pistol rounds when needs.
Yeah,
I always tell you to use the hammer. That's the
Yeah.
better thing.
I go back to the group and I fill them in what I found out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that what happens is you're sort of on your way back from meeting with Viati. Kat and Voldan are on their way back from meeting with the what do you call it? Or from practicing on the firing range. Let me just quickly set up the map here, guys. Tom, you're out, kind of looking around through these, through the scrapyard here. Now, you can ignore all the names and stuff like that. This is just the easiest thing that I had on hand that had a bunch of different, like, corridors and stuff on it. This is from the Star Wars Edge of the Empire starter set. We're going to, instead of just assume that each of these buildings is like a pile of scrap.
I see the point.
Right now it's black to me.
Oh, that's because
I have
it's very,
the map myself, but I can't.
very dark. It's
Very
also because your DM is a dummy and put dynamic lighting on. Here we go. Hit refresh and you should, or reconnect and it should display now. Let me just get the character, the eye tokens on here too. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do our title card as well too. You know what I could do, guys, is I could just do this. Boom. We'll bring you to today's session is, of course, boom, Fistful of Shobhads.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bring you back here. It's funny because I post this both on on the gaming stuff, my gaming kind of social media, and then my normal one as well, just because I share my drawing stuff on there normally. I've had so many people ask, like, what's a Vesk? I mean, none of your business. Okay. Oh, I sent you that link that my buddy Paul did, eh? Volda or Ingolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fuck. He's such a good cartoonist. Okay. Now to convince him to do members of the rest of the party, or illustrations of the rest of the party. Okay. Let's use. So I don't really have a... Oh, we'll use this. This is going to be good enough. Okay, so I'm going to put some thugs down here. But let me first get our heroes. Some of you guys are going to be starting off screen. And... yeah, let's see, where are we? Anacondas. There we go. I could rely on there being tokens there. Okay. And I think the suns are going. The sun is going down now too. I want to say suns, but there's only one in Golarion.
Hey, Kevin, offhand.
Hey, Brent.
Kind of degenerates into combat. You wouldn't happen to have stats for a level 1 summon robot built in?
I do not.
Okay. We'll just ignore that spell for today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't have that loaded in, and it's not just that. You actually have to build it as a. It's not the necessarily the robot stats. We have to build it. I can do that for you though using Hero Lab. So I'll do that tonight maybe.
And then I would just make it like as a second character to control type thing.
Yes, and then you just enter. But it should be minimal. And I think you can set it as an NPC as well too. I think there's an NPC version of the chart.
Oh, okay.
Or the table. So the character sheet. Sorry. Okay, so you are. You know, the downside to that spell, though, is that it's full round action, and if any of that gets interrupted, you lose the spell. Because Starfinder is incredibly unforgiving for spell interruption. Which is one of the many reasons why I love it. Because why make things easy for players? Come on. Alright, so I think what's happened is, right around here, Tom, you've gone along, and you see that the stuff is piled up in such a way that the James plays in our Star Trek game. He said that most shoot to a map gets such great usage. I totally agree. We get a lot of mileage out of this map. He says he does too. So what you see is there's stuff piled up there, and then you're looking underneath, and you're like, oh man, there's some kind of like bypass transisting thing that is actually worth a fair amount of money. Like if it's still intact, there's a bunch of some kind of filament inside that's quite rare. So even if you can't use it for your stuff, like, boy, that actually might be worth a pretty penny. And you kind of get down and you're judging how the stuff is piled up and trying to figure out whether you can get in there and grab it and pull it out without bringing the whole thing down on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you sort of like are on the ground with your arm in there and you're grabbing on it, and you hear from behind you a voice that you recognize. It was the lead kind of thug from before, and he says, "Oh no need to get up. You're exactly where we need you." And you look over, and there are those 6 thugs that you had been, or those other guys who have been warned off by Zakros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. They're all standing there now.
Oh, that's shitty.
So, what I need you to do is, because the pipes, the kind of metal pipes in their hands, or like various kind of like cudgels or clubs or whatever, they suggest that they don't intend well for you. And then the one in lead kind of, tapping it in his hand too, before we roll initiative, says, "Yeah, but then again, I guess you're just going to be more scrap in amongst the rest of the scrap. Boss will never miss it." Would you kindly click on your token and click on initiative, please? Now, what I'd like everyone else to do, Kat, Zakros, and Voldan, each of you give me a perception check. Whoa, nat 20. Well done, Brent. Okay.
I might stay alive longer than I think.
Yeah, me too.
Nice! Holy smokes! Okay. Awesome. Okay, so...
But can't Brent call, or Tom call for help over the headset, the intercom?
That's what I'm assuming he's going to do. What I wanted the perception to do is for you to judge where they are. So
okay.
if you pass... So if 2 of you guys got crit successes on the perception check, which means it's only going to be a round before you get there. It's going to be 2 rounds for Kat before you get there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly roll to see where you come in on this map. Because why not? You can ignore the cliffs that are in there. Just assume that they're like, slight rises leading up. There's not massive cliffs around a, Tatooine place or settlement. Okay, so first up is going to be... Oh, and let me add turns for them. Hold on here, Brent. And my initiative for them was...
22, yay!
Yeah. I did roll really well for them for their initiative, unfortunately, but it wasn't... it's not going to beat your nat 20. Nat 20 beats all. Okay, where is it here? Oh, ability score modifiers, of course. Okay, so then let's do this here. Okay. So. Let's Brent, you are currently prone. What do you want to do?
Yeah, is communicating to these guys help? Is that a free or a standard?
Free. I'll say it's free.
Okay, I will immediately request assistance by the junk pile.
Yep.
And
by the junk pile, you guys all stop and look around. You're like, it's all junk pile.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else marking it.
Yeah.
But I guess I will use my move action to stand up.
Okay.
And my standard action to up my junk armor.
Okay.
I don't even have to get it from my backpack. There's a lot around me.
Is junk armor, check the casting, is it standard action or is it full?
Yes, I just pulled it up.
Oh, did you? Okay, great. Okay. So yeah, so this stuff all pulls around you. Oop. No, I think... That's right. Like, why did I get cold in here all of a sudden? My son's been playing catch with a dog and just knocked the door open. Okay, so then let's see here. So these 3, they're all going to charge in. Oh, ah! Unfortunately, only 2 of them can get to you at a time, it looks like.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, at least I'm not prone anymore.
Yeah. And 2 of them are going to make attacks on you. What is your AC right now? Your KAC?
My KAC is 16.
16. Whew, hopefully you got a backup character in mind. Someone from Akiton, preferably. How are we going to work this if you died in the past? That's weird. We'll have to see. Cross
we
that.
could just say we had a new android soul turn up.
Yeah.
And we built a new
didn't tell
body.
him that he-
They like Tom's charming personality, so they took a new android and stuffed in the personality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was being a smart ass. What was your KAC again?
16.
16. Okay, that means there are two of them connect with you. Whack, whack. And you take, let's see here. That is 8 and 6 points of damage each. Bam, bam, ugh.
Oh, I've
Okay.
still got 2 points.
Okay, so they are laying in the smackdown on you. Next up is you again, Tom. It is one more round. So the start of the next round is when, who did I say? It was Voldan and Kat, is that right?
No, I think
Oh yeah, Voldan and
Zekros and
Zakros,
Zekros
right.
and Voldan.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's Zakros and Voldan, each of you roll a d6 for me, please. 1 is starting at the top. Oh, it's actually, I would need a d4, sorry.
What? 4 d6.
D4, sorry. I can't count. Nice, okay, so a 1 and a 2. Oh, well, that actually makes sense, you know. So, Tom, what is your speed?
I think it's
Oh, sorry,
around-
Zakros.
30.
Sorry,
30.
30, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So I'm assuming you come running in. Thomas, you're right over here, or Zakros is right over here.
Oh.
Okay. And Voldan, what is your speed?
I suppose it's 20 because of this shiny armor. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. 20, still 20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually going to move you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's what you've come running down. You're trying to go in the direction of where he is. I'll move you a little bit further here. 2, 3, 4. So I'm assuming you're running full out, Zakros. So you're sort of racing along, trying to find where this guy is. All right, so that's where we'll start you guys. Would each Zakros and Ingolf, or Ingolf, Zakros and Voldan, would you kindly click on your tokens and then click on initiative? Let's add you to the mix here. Okay.
So long ago. Ah, there it is.
Nice. Okay.
Not bad.
So then, for this round, first up is Tom. Let me zoom back in again. Tom, you're up first. What are you doing?
Okay, I always get the different editions confused here between this and all the D&D and Pathfinder. Well, how did attacks of opportunity work in Starfinder?
They are a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I try to run away, they will...
I think so,
Or
yes.
can I do a 5-step foot back in this edition?
Yeah, they
Oh, you
called
can-
it...
Sorry, you can do withdraw.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
a full action, and then you can move up double your speed.
Oh,
But you can't do
okay.
anything else.
No.
All right, well, that sounds good. I will run away. I will run away.
Okay.
Okay, so I withdraw, so that means I can move him 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yes, make sure you're moving along the, what do you call it? Like the open areas.
Yeah.
The other ones are impassable, and remember, every second diagonal is double.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
Okay. So racing along. Oh, jeez. Trying to get away. Okay. Okay.
And if I see Voldan run by, I'll, in the distance, I'll yell, Voldan, with my free action.
I don't think you do, because he would have come running on before.
Okay, I will, with my free action, of whatever those buildings I'm running to, I'm saying I'm moving towards...
Yeah. Well, remember, they're not buildings, right? Like, these are all piles of junk.
Okay.
It just...
I'm moving towards a big junk pile with things sticking out of it.
Okay. Okay. All right, so their turn. Let's see here. They gonna come in pursuit of you. This is the thing that's so frustrating with these tactical games, is just it becomes this tedious thing where, like, because it's the same initiative order, chases become kind of just an act of moving shit across the board. It's more interesting when there's a random, what do you call it? Because if you're able to withdraw each round and you're at the same speed, you're just constantly at the same area, but they never can take actions on you. Withdraw should be only one. Well, whatever. Whatever. I didn't write the game. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get 'em! They're coming racing after you. Now, let's see here. I don't think rules is oh, charge. Yes, they can. Yeah, never mind.
Has to be a straight line, though.
Yep.
Must move at least 10. No, all movement must be directly towards the designated target. Failing pass through a square that blocks movement, slows movement down. You can't charge. Nah. That's directly towards, so.
Yeah, but they get a -2 on the attack roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says if any line from your starting square to the ending square passes through a square. That
Yeah,
blocks
I'm gonna let them
movement.
do it. I don't really care what it
Okay.
says. So
Okay.
I would do the same thing for you guys. Okay, so when you are hit once again, and you take 4 points of damage.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Zakros, or not Zakros, Volden, would you kindly give me a perception roll?
Perception roll.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay, you hear Tom cry out from right over here. You're aware of where he is now. Okay, so then next up is Zakros. What are you doing?
I run as a full action. I can move up to 4 times my speed, so that means 120 feet.
Okay.
Each one is 5 foot, I guess. Is it each square here?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 10, 20, 30, and 6, 24 squares, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I hope this is right. I also counted the diagonal.
Yeah, doubles? No, that's fine.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Okay, so you go racing over. We see you running around, trying to navigate through these high piles of scrap and, metal. Remember, too, that, like, on Akiton, there are huge fields full of crashed starships. So there's just tons and tons and tons of scrap that are all piled up. So this place is effectively like a hedge maze, but made of...
Would that count as difficult terrain then?
No, I'll let you. Unless you're trying to move over them or through them, then no, I'm fine with. They've set this stuff up in kind of a wacky, shacky manner so that they could clearly access everything.
Okay.
All right, and then Voldan, your turn. What are you doing?
I think I will just move around the corner here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I will roar, just welcoming our guests here in this fight.
Nice.
And then, so my thing is hit and run, so I can first shoot at someone and then hit him later, and that gives an extra bonus. So I will shoot at the first guy.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And he must be at -2, I suppose, because he did a charge, but that will miss anyway. So.
Oof.
But I think I have a Nova point. Come on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's do it again.
Here we go.
That
nice. Much better. Okay. And what does he have for points? Okay. So I'm just going to put a little mark on it to know that he's been shout. Okay, excellent. Then next up is top of the round. Kat, would you kindly roll a d6 for me? And then tell me what your speed is.
40.
40, holy shit.
Yeah, because that's...
Oh, sorry, a
what operative
d4,
gets.
not a d6. Sorry,
Alright.
sorry. I can't count.
Yeah, that's part of the...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you know what? No, I can use that d6 roll instead. Let's see here. Top is the one. No, bottom. Okay. So actually, you know what? You come in about here. 40, 10, 20, 30, 40. So you've gone racing. I'm picturing you're sort of scampering over the area over here.
Yeah.
And you come racing off in the direction of where you've heard that sound. So that's where you're starting at the top of the round. Would you kindly click on your token, click on initiative, and then we'll go through the next round.
Yeah, hang on, let me zoom in so I can see myself.
Oh, sorry, I'll ping you here. You are right over here. That relocate for you?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then 24. Did you click on your token first?
Should do, hang on.
You should do, or you did?
Well, I did. I've clicked on it, but it's not.
That's okay. I've seen your roll.
Is my token sort of hidden from me because I can click on it, but I don't see the little things pop up.
It does for me. Yeah, you shouldn't. That's me double check.
Yeah, I can't. When I click on it, I don't get the three.
Maybe just hit refresh. You should still have this is the same token as before. But yeah, I'll add the initiative turn or turn tracker here anyway. And Kat will be up first.
Hang on, let me just reload the screen.
Sure. Kat. There we go. Oop, I've lost Mo altogether in roll 20. Can you guys see him?
Yeah, I
see
have
his
to do it to
avatar.
refresh.
Okay.
Right, so I can't actually see anything, so I just heard Tom call out for help.
Yeah, I sort of
Yeah.
described the tall junk pile by me.
What you can do, why don't you give me a perception check again?
Yeah, just
Let's
to
see if
see
you
if
can
I
hear
can
where,
follow his
sort of where the,
instructions.
because they're shouting and whatnot, you can hear that. You can hear the sound of laser blast from...
Me?
Yeah.
Of Gul'dan. He was roaring. I mean, you can't miss that. Impossible.
Yeah, that's why my character sheet seems to have gone. Right.
Are you having trouble there, Mo?
No, because I had to refresh everything. Right, you want a perception?
Please. Bitte und danke. A little bit of German fan service there for you guys.
Yeah.
Almost the extent of my German. That and Kartoffel's a lot.
So, and you know beer, that's the same word in German, so you can cope. So.
Which one is?
Beer.
Bier,
it's the
Bier,
same
yeah,
word.
Bier ist Bier, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a funny
Right.
story about. I had a guy, a homeless guy, was harassing me for money when I was in Quebec City, and I decided to use my pidgin German. And the guy was so indignant. He's like, so I was saying like, ich kann nicht, ich expect, what was it?
English.
English. No, it was French because it was trying to ask me in French.
Französisch.
And he says, he points at the beer. He's like, "What beer? How'd you get the beer then?" And I'm like, "Bier ist Bier in Deutsch."
Yeah.
And he's like,
Right, so do I get an idea of where I'm going?
let's hear, what was your perception? 22. Yes, you do. You know precisely sort of where the combat is coming from here, from over in this direction.
All right, so I'm going to run over. Effectively, I'm going to run down this thing here. So 4 times, that's 160 feet. No, in fact, I think I'm just going to double move.
Okay.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40. That would be 30, 35, 40. So I come up there and... Oh, I can see it now. Yeah, I can see the tail end of them, but that's my move because that's a full action.
Okay, so you can
And
race
I will call out over the radio, I'm coming.
Okay, love it. Tom, what are you doing?
All right. If I move my ass here, then let me click on this or not. Come on, ping, damn you. Oh, I guess maybe if I
Just move behind.
Anyway, if I move 2 squares back from where I am,
Yep.
that would sort of bottleneck them to one at a time.
Unless they push past you.
Oh, right, that's a thing here.
Yeah. I am an immovable wall. You shall not. Oh, you got past.
Right.
Just run behind me. I mean,
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'm like, I will block them here, and then like, then it won't work, and I'll land on the ground again.
You don't want to pull a. I'll give you a Nova point for pulling a Gandalf impression if you like.
You shall not pass.
Okay.
There's footprints all over your face.
Yeah.
Ow.
Okay, turns out you can pass pretty easily.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm super strong with a strength of 8, I believe. Yeah.
Good job.
Oh no, my strength is 10. Never mind. I'm
Okay.
super strong. But despite this amazing strength, I will withdraw again.
Okay. So these guys see Voldan suddenly here. That definitely has a change on the circumstances here.
Okay. I'm like, hi, Al, and then I will use a free action to draw a pistol.
Okay. So, then it's their turn. Okay, so they now have seen this Vesk. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to 1, 2, 4. They move forward just a little bit, and they. There we go. There we go. There we go. The lead one kind of stops them all, and he points at Tom. He says, "We just want the android. We don't want any trouble with you." That's what I say to you. Zakros, what are you doing?
I run as a full round action, and I stop roughly 25 feet behind them.
Oh, right, we're tracking... Oh, right. I think we said last session. I mean, so do you have the dots on your character to track your Nova points?
oh no,
No.
Oh, okay, no.
Don't on mine. Okay.
Yeah, because I was thinking that's actually a pretty handy way to... I don't know if you intended that, but I mean, that's a handy way to track the total, because we don't have an extra bar in this. In Pathfinder, you've only got, a few bars to track. In this one, we've got, resolve points and stamina points and hit points, so we don't have any extra space for it. Zakros, is that it for your actions?
Yeah, I run. I do a full round action. I run to this place, and then I shout at them, "Now is not the time. Leave him alone."
Okay. And then, Voldan, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm confused. So they are breaking the order of command. That is definitely mutiny or something like that.
Yep.
So yeah. So that guy was Zami, was this Batista-looking guy, yes, or something like that.
Which guy, sorry?
Zami, he was some kind of the sergeant of this.
No. This isn't Zeker. These are the guys who tried to rough up that were trying to bamboozle Zakros before, and then that Tom spilled shit on.
Yes. But we had this encounter with this guy who looked like Batista, who was a
Oh, Zami. Yeah.
Zami, yeah. And so I would shout something like something like, okay, either me or Zemi, and then I will advance and hit the first one.
Okay.
So just go here.
Either you or Zamni? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, either I will kill them or Zemi will kill them.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and just to make an impression of my point, I will use my hit and run bonus for the first time
Nice.
in playing this thing. So I can assault. I use the hammer.
Okay.
And I get an extra +2, but I will hit anyway. I
Boom. So you go racing in and hammer this guy, and he's not staggered back. He's not quite down, but he's and staggers back from the force of your blow. Cat, what are you doing?
Looking at the stuff in front of me, can I sort of do a what's that French term for running over roofs and things?
Cross
Can
on.
I parkour? Can I acrobatically parkour up and land about there, and then sort of point the gun down and try and intimidate them, saying,
Sure.
put everything down. So I try and end up here, effectively point the gun, effectively to then try and intimidate.
Sure. So I think that what you could do is, let's see here. I think it sounds to me like an athletics check, because that's climbing.
Well, it's either acrobatics or...
Nope. Remember, we've gone through this before. Athletics is always climbing.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, anything
well,
else-
I'll give it a go.
Like staying up there, keeping your balance, that stuff is acrobatics. But getting yourself up there, that's a climb check, which is a athletics thing. So go ahead and give me... Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so you easily scramble up that thing. You are able to... I'll say you get to the top of it, and then because you're just so quick, you can easily scramble along the top of that and position yourself where you want. Yeah.
Yeah. So effectively, I'll go to the edge, and then effectively, then I'll do an intimidate check with the gun, saying, right,
Sure.
everyone drop those weapons.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an intimidate check, please. I'll give you a +2 from the circumstances, because that's pretty scary for them.
I should put more ranks into intimidate, I think. Obviously, my voice comes out a bit squeaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you would have a Nova point. I mean, you didn't put it on
Yeah,
your
I think
character.
I'll burn the Nova point here, which is the one I got to start the day.
You should have 2 then. Have you spent any Nova points yet?
No.
No, so you have
Oh,
one
sorry,
more.
we're doing...
Yeah.
Okay, that's not super.
I'm just going to let them be hit by...
Okay, not horribly intimidating. Next up is Tom. What are you doing? Tom the android.
All right. Let's see. I'll move up a little bit. Yeah, and I will try to daze a guy directly, or I'm trying to ping him here, but it's not working.
I think it's just an oversized map. Sorry, guys. And it's Sunday. I don't know what the Roll20 seems to have a zillion things running on Sundays.
So the guy directly in front of me, like there's one open space between him and Voldan. I'm going to try and daze him. Yes.
That's the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a will save for me, right?
Right here. I will cast it.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So yeah, and remind us again, what does it look like when you manifest Daze?
Daze makes it look like he's got a bunch of code and shit coming out in his eyes.
Right.
So he's just like...
So that one is definitely dazed.
Okay.
Is standing there and is unable to take any actions. Next round, their turn. They are suitably intimidated. They are getting the fuck out of Dodge. Get out of here! Go! Go! So they will be moving. They're running. So let's see here. That's they're going to be off the map effectively because they're taking the shortest route to get out of here. Except for the one that is... Well, first off, the one that is stunned. He is... I'm just going to move him down here, guys. I'm not going to erase him. The one that is dazed, it does not do anything. He just stands there agape. And the other one, it can only withdraw. So it's 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he gets to about there. He's still... You can still hear his feet scrambling because he had to duck underneath Voldan's massive hammer in order to get away from them. So you see like the whole crowd of them run past the end of the alleyway there, Zakros, and then one of them a little late, you know, Johnny Come Lately is kind of going along. Zakros, your turn. What are you doing?
So the one on the left beside Vuldan is dazed, is that right?
It is, yeah. I mean, your
And-
character doesn't know that yet, but
Yeah, okay, but I didn't see this guy, but I saw the other guy there.
Yeah.
Heard running up there, and he was actually the one who started all this, is he?
It was, yeah. It was the one that was threatening, the lead guy who was
okay.
threatening Tom. The one who seemed to
Yeah.
be your friend.
Yeah, but we have to put in an example and I step a bit further and I look at him and say, I told you, now you made her mad. And now I cast, hang on, I cast Mind Trust, and it looks like this in his mind, like, you know, the girl from The Ring
Yeah.
appears and thrusts a filthy dagger in his head.
Go ahead and roll
Okay.
damage. Let's see.
He can do a saving throw,
Okay.
I think, for half damage.
Okay, let's see here. So it's a will save. He kind of turfed that last. Nat 1. He dies.
Yeah.
He's gonna hits rigid, and then just falls down, dead. Boom.
Another
All right.
one for Pharasma.
Yeah, you see a spectral form kind of drift from it that only you can see, Zakros. Voldan, what are you doing?
I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm using the grapple maneuver on the...
Okay, so here's, guys, one thing that I've always disliked about Starfinder anyway is how difficult they made the grappling things and the combat maneuvers. It is insanely difficult. And we just so happen to have a pretty great rule set to steal from. Instead of doing the... Let's just fucking use the PF2 versions of it for now. You can make an athletics check, and then it'll be targeting his KAC, and then we'll interpret that from whatever your result is. Are you trying to get a hold of him?
Yes, I want to just grapple him so he can't run away.
Sure. So because to be honest, I was going to be using an adapted version of the dungeon grappling rules that Doug Cole put together because they're really cool as well. But the Pathfinder ones work just as well. So give us a athletics check. Let's see how you do here. Whoa, shit. Okay, so what is this, KC? Wow. Okay, so that's effectively like you can have him smashed to the ground at this point. And in an armbar so he cannot get out.
Yeah, so I will do that.
Okay, so you get in and sort of like lift this guy up, poof, and then slam him down on the ground. He's been dazed too, right? So he's kind of going to come to on his next round and be like, what the hell? So yeah, you have him completely secured. Kat, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just going to jump down from the roof there.
Okay.
Is it more than 10 feet, or do we have to...
It's, I'm not concerned about you taking damage here, so you won't.
I assumed it was.
You won't take
as
enough.
long as I can.
Yeah, like you guys will be able to recover, like have a post-encounter recovery anyway. So the teeny bit of a resolve that you might take from that, I'm not really concerned. Okay, so you hop down,
and I'll say that was a bit over the top, Zakros, seeing the guy lying there with the blood coming out of his ears.
Okay, and Tom the android, what are you doing?
Like, oh, I hurt. Thanks, guys. Oh, on the plus side, I found this great stuff that I think we can sell and make a bit of cash.
You actually didn't pull that out yet to see. You were in the process of doing that when you got...
Yeah, but I know where it is, so I'll tell them. I think they're back this way. I found where we can get some cash.
Okay.
Good salvage.
Give me an engineering check. Let's see if you're able to successfully extricate this.
All right. Let's go for no ones anymore.
Yeah.
Can I assist on that one?
Oh, yeah, you better. You better.
Oh, I rolled a 3. I guess that's better than a 1.
Oh. Okay. So it's right now you're not able to get it out, but you think if you change circumstance, if you do something different here, you might be able to try again.
Volden, it seems to be stuck. Can you help us out here?
No. I've got this person. You have to learn priorities.
Yeah, and the guy's like, "Let me go! Get out of here! Let me go!"
I look over and try and daze him. Oh no, I can't daze him again.
Yeah.
Or Cat will say, "Well, stop playing with your food, Goldan." Just to scare him
Food!
more.
You can't let him eat me! No!
Well,
No, I think we would take him to Zemni and have a nice chat about not following orders and attacking your fellow soldiers.
Let's, I'm not sure how that's going to go over. Give me a, what is it, a professional soldier check. Okay. Now, here's what Voldan would know about this. This is effectively like it's a gang. It's not an army, right? And it's clear, like, with Zamni, what he was asking you before about whether you served or whatnot, too. You expect he's got in his mind where everyone fits in this stuff, right? This guy clearly fits in the category of, like, your colleagues, where they're not, you know, they're not soldiers, they're killers. So, if you bring this guy in, Zamni may, you know, say, oh, okay, well, he didn't follow orders, but he's not the... There's no standing orders to not kill each other. It's assumed you guys will sort of work things out. If you kill one of the... It's sort of like a... You know, it's an informal gang here. The way that you guys handled things is likely what Zamni would have expected you to how to handle things. This is not a formal disciplinary unit or something like that. Go ahead, Zachros.
Okay, Zachros goes over to the killer, kneels down, and in a calm voice he tells him, so listen, this is how it works now. If Okashox tells you something, you do as he says. If Vosela say something to you, you do as she says. If we say something to you, you do as we say.
That's so good. And he's got those creepy cybernetic eyes, too. Yeah, absolutely. So everyone gets... Actually, I'll give everybody a Nova point for that. So well done,
I already
Thomas.
have 3.
Oh, do you? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you helped your allies out, though. Okay, yeah, so you don't even need to roll for that. He's just like, okay, just don't let him eat
Cat's
me.
going to add, get rid of your former colleague.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually, before that, I'll just check his body. Has he got any creds on him?
It's a token amount. Like, it's an amount that would have been eaten up, you know.
Bullets? Weapons?
Yes, let's say he's got...
Oh, he's got these spare bullets, yeah.
Yes, I'll say he's got, let's say... He was the leader as well, too, so he probably has the most things. Why don't you say that you've got an extra clip for each of your weapons? That's what you're able to scavenge from it.
Mm-hmm.
For projectile weapons, not for energy weapons, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. And so, okay, I just leave the bullet clip with 9 bullets in my inventory, and I have the rest in my pistol.
Sure. And you know what? Why don't I give you a, what is it, like a Mark 1 frag grenade as well?
Who's good with grenades?
None of you. We've established that.
Me, I'm good with grenades, but I don't need them.
Yeah, I toss it over to Ingolf. Oh, what is this ring?
Nice.
To me as a player or to my character?
Sorry, to Bolden.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do now then?
I'm gonna see if I can get. I'm still like trying to get Volden to help me pull up that wire.
Yeah, now I have my hands free. I can help you.
Okay, so that guy goes scrambling off, and the way that he drags the body away with as if he's got like immediately, you get a bit of a chill there, Tom the android, because you suspect that they have some place in mind where they were going to stuff you. Yeah. So, thanks to your friends, there's a quick intervention to prevent what might have been a, unmarked grave for our stalwart android. So, let's talk about how are you going to try and get access to that thing now then?
Well, I think it's being blocked, like it's too far in, and if you could move some of the other junk, or like have someone pick up and hoist this heavy piece of metal that's trapping it, I could reach it.
Could I use my hammer to smash something?
Hang on, I think we've got a toolkit,
Yeah,
which we got. Is there a jack in it, or the equivalent of a jack?
I don't. It's. I don't think so. But you might.
Yeah, it's a hover vehicle, so he wouldn't really have a.
yeah, offer jack.
Yeah, I was thinking if you had a car jack, you could just use that to.
Yeah, I mean, you can if it's just leverage. Like you could probably find some bar somewhere or like a pipe or something that you could jam in there and try and rework. Why don't you do this? Why don't Voldan give me an athletics check here?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
nat
nat 20.
20. I'm actually going to give you +4 to your next roll then, Brent, but only one of you can add that. So go ahead and make your engineering check again at +4 on top of whatever your result.
All right.
And here we go. Big money.
Oh, hey, that's better.
Okay.
+4.
So you get it, and you carefully pull this thing out, and you, unscrew this thing. You pull back the housing. Sure enough, there's all this stuff that's in there. They didn't even think to strip it. This is going to be worth, when you get it back to a market, 500 credits.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of toss it up and get down like, oh, clearly worth, a couple of lumps. So
I'm holding this coil that looks like crap to probably most people here, but it's...
you stuff it in your otherwise full garbage bag, and you guys head back to the kind of common area. All right. So what are you guys? This is now the evening.
Yeah, I tell Tom, hey, you look like shit. Freshen up a bit.
I feel like I look at him like I feel like shit.
No, you just have to spend a resolve point to get all your stamina points back.
Yeah, and I'm down a couple hit points.
Oh, are you?
As well?
Yeah, I'm down by 2 hit points. So like I took a
Yeah.
bit of a beating.
Zach was like, no, you'll fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be bloody still like by evening.
Okay.
But otherwise, yeah, it's not like severe.
So you guys come in, and by the time, like after trying to find the pipe and trying to get things out or whatnot, you do eventually find that some of your attackers, Tom the android, have actually made their way back to because where else are they going to go? So you guys come in, and there's this sort of tense exchange, between you guys as you enter into the kind of common area, but you do get the sense that everyone else has a bit more respect for you guys. It seems that like a knitting circle that mercenaries are remorseless gossips, so they may have heard what's happened here. And what you see as well too is that it seems that this is falling into an evening ritual where at first they were cursing the limited selection of hollow things. You guys can see in sort of the common area where they've got these. They've repurposed some scrap into like couches and benches and whatnot, and they're all sitting down. And there's this hollow display again of the amazing Zipzop, who's doing his very slow close-up magic, and they're just like ah. You get the sense that there's a lot of alcohol involved, or perhaps other substances that is, fueling their newfound interest in the amazing Zipzop. But that is the scene you walk into. What are you guys going to do for the evening?
I'm going to make some evening food, I think.
Okay.
See what there is in the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, when I said cook, I thought there might have been like traditional Western chow cook. The retired cowboy who can't really ride the range just more. He just rides the chuck wagon and does the food. But yeah, right. So we'll have a look, see what we've got there.
Okay.
Grab any beers.
Yeah. How many people are there about?
Hanging out in here, there's probably maybe like between 20-25.
Okay.
All doing different things. Some are like napping on their bunks. Some are reading something on a holo display. Some are watching the amazing Zipzop. And then there's the group that you guys that drove off of the Tom the android's attackers. They've gone to the far side of the room, and they're sort of watching to see what you guys do at this point.
I think the Zipzop guy sounds like an amazing amount of fun. So I think Voldan would join watching him.
Voldan, you go and you enjoy an evening of the slowest. It's a 2-hour special, and he manages to get maybe 1.5, tricks actually done in the time. But the amazing Zipzop is truly an amazing, entertainer. Zachros, Kat, and
A bit
Tom
like an Elcor then.
Yeah, so Kat, you're making your food. As you go and sit down, Voldan, too, someone passes you, opens up a cooler and passes you a beer as well, and you crack it open and And the Zachros and Tom, while Kat's making food, what are you guys doing?
Taking it easy, maybe having a drink, but definitely being well aware of where everyone else is in the room, both friend and foe.
Okay, so yeah, you're grabbing a drink. Are you joining like the rest of the crowd with the show, or are you keeping on your own?
Yeah, you know what? I might if that's where everyone is, I will do that. I don't think I keep my sidearm and sword with me from now on.
For sure, yeah. I mean, that's expected in here. Like, again, it's a bunch of like rogues in a town in the middle of nowhere on a dangerous planet, full of these hideous creatures. You absolutely would keep your weapon with you. How about Zachros? What's Zachros doing?
He's joining Vuldan and enjoying the show, trying to... He's really humored by this guy and trying to imitate the movements and try to learn all the tricks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's the most impressive slow close-up magic that you've ever seen, and you can picture too as it's slowly building to the reveal for each of them, because it's so slow. There's this like, and then he suddenly does it, and the whole crowd goes,
Yeah.
Oh, so
and I'm like, I don't get it at all.
Come on, Tom! It's amazing! He's amazing!
This is clearly it is a cultural thing that are they called Hirdles? I just had him looked up a moment ago. Oh, where'd he go? There he is. Telias. There we go. I did, for those listening at home, after seeing these guys on, what do you call it, in the Alien Archive 3, I did promise the players that there would be a hurdle showing up tonight. Space Tortoise Man.
Yeah.
So, unless you guys have something else planned, that's sort of the evening. Cat makes his meal, and brings it to you guys, then goes back and maybe checks his weapons again to make sure that they're ready. Did you guys have? It sounded like you guys may have a plan for in the dead of night. You're thinking,
Yes.
well, yeah. What's that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the other guys probably have the idea that they could sneak up somewhere. I mean, Vodan couldn't sneak somewhere, so but I could distract the other guys.
Okay.
Well, towards the end of the evening, or about 9 o'clock, Kat's going to suggest to the others we go outside for a smoke, and see if we can find somewhere quiet in the junkyard and have a discussion.
Yeah. There's
about what we do.
Easily, yeah, you guys could easily manage that.
I was thinking we could attempt to sneak into the main house at night, possibly not tonight because we might have to do a bit more planning, and try and find where Mari is being held.
We don't even know if she's for sure in there. We just, because no one's actually seen her, so we just assume so. But it's odd that no one's ever like laid eyes on her. Everyone just thinks that she's somewhere in this house. Hasn't come out for air or anything, and a fairly long period. So do we even know if she's really in there, other than people just assuming that she is?
Yeah, I mean, you could try
well,
to
which is
sneak
just-
out.
The other thing we could do is maybe if we can sneak up to the main house and try and tap into the cable that presumably connects. So is it cable or is it wireless?
No, you're not going to run a cable all the way back to Hive Market. So.
No. We have the terminal in like the place where we're staying.
Right, it'll be wireless though.
Back in. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, the other way would be to try and like sneak into the cellar. So I assume they've got some sort of central computer somewhere, and we try and sneak in and hack into it, see if we can find any evidence of her, or
Is there? Can you see? Can we see into this place? Like, just sort of like into the compound or into the windows or
into the family house, Okashog's
Yeah.
house. No, I mean they've got all the blinds or the blinds drawn and stuff like that.
yeah, I assume from what you said, it's like a Pueblo style. So it's got
Exactly.
thick-
Yeah. Like
thick
Hacienda or
outside,
Pueblo
outside
style.
walls just to stop the heat.
Yeah.
So it's probably a house built around a courtyard.
Yeah. You
So
can
probably
see as well.
aren't external.
They do have an older style like anti-aircraft thing on top. It's clearly like you think you saw something similar on one of the structures at the far end of town too.
Yeah.
So you think that that this likely was part of the ever escalating conflict between Okashog and Zadok.
Well, we could either take action or wait and see how things play out.
I
Whether it
think we
comes to a
should-
climax and then we sneak in the middle of the fight and take advantage of the chaos.
But we should know where she is before the fight
Yeah.
starts.
yeah.
That's otherwise it will be a disaster, I suppose. Because they should hide her, just in order to have leverage, and then if a fight breaks out, then she must be hidden. So I don't know.
So, does the Zayla have any sort of house servants? Do they come in and out?
Yep.
Do they have like people that bring food in? Maybe we could try and make friends with them and see if the maid or the big house probably does have a cook or someone like that.
Well, one other thing you meant that you saw, the main structure here. Sorry, Tom, I'll give you a chance to say in just a sec here.
No, you go ahead. I have an idea.
There is they have a front business as well too, which is not active right now because of the way things are. They have a brothel. There's a business that's a brothel. There's the main house as well, and then there's where you guys are locked up. But the brothel seems to be shut up right now. Sorry, Tom, what were you going to say?
No, if they have servants, obviously, I assume the girl is locked up in the main house. Yeah.
Mhm.
So is nobody from the killers, the contractors or whatever, is allowed to go into that main house. So only the servants are allowed to go into there. Is that right?
Have you did see that Zamni was heading up there with Vosela, and that Kasathan is still in with you guys, but you haven't really. I think you probably would have seen. There's at least one or two other guards that are at the main thing, but just with past experience with mercenary activity, you're going to guess that they're not. Those were probably like loyal people to them beforehand. They're not just hired mercenaries like you guys.
Mm-hmm. So is there a chance we can catch one of the guards on their own? I mean, if will be the one of the guards on his own there, so I could hang on. I would like to disguise as Vosela, go to the guards and tell them, you get Myrene to this and this place. I want to interrogate her. Something like that.
Okay.
That's my plan. I want that the guard gets the woman out of wherever she is, outside somewhere else.
And maybe if we got them to take her near where we've got the truck, we can then say surprise, grab the girl, knock the guard out, and make a run for it.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay.
So I disguise as Vosela with help of my holoskin, my voice modulators, and everything.
Yeah.
And I go to one of the guards and try to convince him.
I'll have the truck repaired by this point, so it's ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Get the girl out. I have to.
So does that sound like a plan, guys, for Tom and Tommy Android and Voldan?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, we can see the end of the show first, right?
Of course.
Voldan?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
Okay.
we just tell the guard it's a late night interrogation. Yeah, she'll be in a more
Okay.
receptive mood if we wake her up in the
So
early hours of the morning.
Let's do this. Let's first up, why don't someone give me Cat? I think this will be you. Why don't you give me a stealth check here? I'm going to say I think you are the stealthiest of the lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a stealth check, and let's see how this is you reconnoitering to kind of like judge the guards' patrol schedule. Nice. Oh yeah, amazing. So we see in the fiction of this, you know, you're a fucking like you're not just a shadow, like you're in complete darkness. You're only revealed if you really want to, and you get a sense of exactly what the sort of the patrol schedule is here. It seems like these guys there are guards who armed guards who walk, you know, around in singular as they go around the main building. But they seem to be relying pretty heavily on the technological security that's on the exterior. So this guy's walking along on his own, which means you guys are easily able to sort of judge it on a time for when they are when he's going to be alone, and you'll be able to walk up and make the best impression. Now, with your hollow skin, remind me again, what does this do? You don't take a penalty to try to disguise as someone a different sex and a different species, right?
Yeah, hang on. I get a bonus on disguise checks.
I thought it was that you ignored the penalty.
Yeah.
Because normally it's to...
Oh. Actually, I wanted to post a description.
Those are cheap. I mean, probably we should all get one.
Well, we do know how heavy it is, and if you need to sell it, so that's good.
No, I don't have it in the...
Oh, is it in the companion?
Equipment. No, it's in the normal equipment section.
Well, here it's in the compendium, right?
Sorry. Yeah, I think so. Hang on. Yeah, equipment, holoskin.
Holoskin, here we go. Okay. Holoskin says it can be programmed. When you use a holoskin, you can disguise major features, race, or creature without the DC of your disguise check increasing, except against perception checks that involve physical examination. Well,
I don't think they're not going. They're probably not going to take her down. I don't think.
Yeah, they wouldn't touch me. I assume that.
Yeah, they're not going to pat down the boss's wife.
Yeah.
Okay, so then why don't you give me a disguise check, and we'll kind of role play out from there.
Okay. Yeah.
So I assume we've got the truck parked somewhere, and he's going to get the guard to bring us to us, and we're going to wait with the truck.
Okay.
For the other two of us. Of course, if it all goes pear-shaped, we have to run in and
okay.
get Zakros out.
I think the vocal modulator is already added to this. Okay. I'm not really sure.
Let's see here. So. There is a +2 that comes at the end there.
Yeah.
That'll likely last a short length of time, but it's not going to be, for the time being. So you walk up, and it's a Hilky guy. I'll make it a woman. So it's a woman who's in her mid-30s, pretty, rough looking. She's got effectively like a the Akiton equivalent of a submachine gun in her hand. There's a rifle over her back. She looks over and she kind of like does a double take, and she says, "Madam."
Yeah. You go get Myri out. I have to interrogate her, and if you by any chance should meet any guard, bring him with you as well.
Okay.
Just in case if one of the major characters are there as well. I forgot the name. What was the
Zamni?
name of the Zamni? Yeah, just in case you see Zamni, bring him as well.
Okay. She kind of looks at you, ma'am?
And then you heard me, and then I move behind the house.
Okay, she's like, oh, but ma'am, but... Okay, so you kind of move out of the way. JT, are you waiting at the vehicle, or do you have the other guys waiting in the vehicle, and you're kind of stealthing along to make sure nothing goes wrong?
Yeah, that might be better, actually.
Right, and I can...
I can be in the the shadows near it.
Okay.
But we
Yeah,
need to
you
have
know what?
someone on the vehicle, I think.
Yeah, and I can fix the. I can pilot and I can fix the vehicle. I think you're way better at stealth than Tom
Okay.
is.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll give you a distributor cap or whatever we use to disable it and say
Okay.
fix it. And I'll. So effectively, I'm going to be in the shadows about 15, 20 feet away from Zakros when he's doing this.
Okay.
So where's the guard going when she walks off?
She's kind of standing there, like, confused. And she puts, like touches her head, and she says, yeah, hi.
Can I, when I see her going to do that, can I sneak up behind her and, like, try and, like, knock her out?
Not really. I mean, you can try and sneak up
Okay.
behind her and attack her if you want.
Oh, yeah. I mean, effectively, that's what do a sneak attack from behind and just knock her out.
Yeah, so give me a stealth check here. We'll use this, and we'll use this as well too as your the setup for the operative's edge. Whoa, really, really good. Wow.
Well, yeah. So that was so.
So you're
So I'm
suddenly up
not-
behind her. Go ahead and make an attack roll. What are you using here?
No, I didn't buy a sap. I thought about it. I didn't. Effectively, I'm just going to effectively punch her in the back. So try and.
Okay, so just so you understand, like rules, that ain't gonna happen. You're not gonna be able to not just knock her out, right?
All right.
It is likely that that's gonna. You know, you're not equipped for this. This may be taking a development you didn't anticipate. Are you sure this is what you want to do, or like knowing that this is likely to devolve into a firefight?
I'm going to listen and see what she says.
Okay. So she puts it on.
But I am getting ready to basically to sneak up behind.
Sure.
her.
Yeah. I think the role is you're in position to drop down on her, right?
Yeah.
Like you've.
Yeah.
This is you are in the rafters above her, ready to drop down. You know, if need be. And she's like, "Yeah. Hey, my Ree's not here, right? No, I thought. Yeah. That's. We didn't get her back, did we? No, I know. No, I know. The Shobhads came. But. No. Well, it's just that the boss's wife just asked me to get her. Are you sure that... No. No. No, you're right. All right. Yeah, all right. And she takes her hand off her ear, shakes her head, and she just says, fucking drunk. And keeps on wandering.
Okay. Good enough.
Okay.
So, Kat, you drop down. Zakros, you head down. We sort of see you walking down towards the vehicle. And, you pass into a shadow, and then what walks into the shadow is Vozela, and then what walks out is Zakros in his cowboy uniform. Walks down, and you're pretty confident that, that fucking worked. And the next thing we see is you guys are waiting there for maybe a minute or so, maybe 5 minutes or so. And then, Kat, am I correct in thinking that you go and join them?
Yes. In fact, I assume we've set up like comm links between ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'll just say that was a bust. I think Murray is no longer in the building. Meet me at the truck.
Okay.
So then I'll effectively, I'll probably be about 20 seconds, 30 seconds behind Zakros. And then I'll tell everyone. I didn't want to do a long conversation online. So I'll tell the others that the guards seemed confused and thought that Vuzela was drunk. Apparently, Murray has been taken back. The Shobhads came.
Yeah, Zuchak. So I think she's with Zuchak.
Or with the Shobhads.
She did say Shobhads, plural.
Yes.
Zadok
there
has
is-
one Shobhad.
Yeah.
Do we think that the actual Shobhad tribes came and took her?
Yes.
But that would have been a big fight, and we've been told there's no fights.
No, I think she just escaped and ran off with the Shobhads.
Okay, so
Let's see here. Who's trained in life? What is it? Not life sciences. What's the other one I want? Culture.
yeah, similar to culture.
Yeah.
Survival.
Give me a culture check.
Can I assist?
No. Each of you make individual rolls.
Okay.
Okay. So, Kat, what you know, I think, as you, for whatever reason, you know, when you've been learning about these Shobhads, like, it's not like, you know, you can run off and join the Shobhads. They are an incredibly violent and powerful, you know, species that lurks in the deserts of Akiton. And you may remember also that there was talk lately, or at least what...
yeah, there was about the tribes, yeah.
Yeah,
We were
being
told that.
united by some kind of, you know, unified thing, too. That wouldn't be the... That would be the Shobad tribes, not the Hilki who kind of went, you know, when the economy turned sour. There's Hilki who've gone to live in the deserts kind of the way Shobads do, but they don't, like, have mixed tribes. There's Shobads and there's non-Shobads. The Shobads sort of think that way. The guy who has joined from the Shears, he's an anomaly. You know, he's either a mercenary or he's an outcast or something. So if they got her, or if she's gone to join them, either it means she is an extraordinarily resourceful person, or there's something else going on here that you guys don't know.
So, but we don't know that the Shobats have human slaves or something like that.
No.
So she's not been sold or...
That could very well
Well,
be too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is, it's technically illegal, but there is underground slave markets, and I believe Akiton is one of the places it happens.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Of course, all the treasured colleagues working on Aposte are nothing of the sort. They're just merely indentured servants.
Awesome. So
he says that in a rather sarcastic manner.
with that development, it seems like our Starfinders have a lot to consider before the next session. So we'll leave things there and allow them to contemplate this. So, for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us for session 15 of our ongoing Starfinder campaign. We hope you've been enjoying this diversion into the Fistful of Shobhads mini campaign. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding this session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, you can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings, or you can shoot me an email. My email is dungeonmusings@gmail.com, or you can follow the link in the description of the video and join us on Discord, where we have channels dedicated to this campaign and all the other campaigns we have on the channel, and other nonsense like World of Warcraft Classic, like discussing the conversion to Dark Sun, or for Pathfinder 2nd, which is our current hot topic. Otherwise, let's see here. You also may notice that there is a link to something called Heroes Save Villages in the description of the video. This is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. We don't monetize the channel in any other way. We don't run ads. We don't run a Patreon. If you are inclined to toss some Pact Worlds credits in our direction, I'd ask that you consider clicking through and learning more about the Heroes Save Villages campaign that benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity. This is a charity that is active in over 130 countries and provides supportive structure and other necessary, things of life for over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children around the world. It is a really terrific organization, and any money donated goes directly to assist them in doing the very good work that they do. None of it goes to the channel, none of it goes to any other middleman. So if you are inclined to toss money in the direction of the channel, that is the route I would ask you to consider going. I don't want anyone to feel obligated, of course, but if you are inclined, that would be a way of doing that. Last but not least, I want to thank our reunited Starfinder band. So, Ingolf, Thomas, Morris, and Brent, thanks so much for joining me today, guys. This was a lot of fun today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah,
Turn that on the head. Yeah.
Okay, so then, until next time, for those listening at home, thank you again for joining us, and until we see you again, happy gaming.